Dear Mother, if I never set foot in the sanctum again, it will be too soon. Everything aches. My feet are tired from walking aimlessly through a maze. My muscles sore from wielding my sword and shield. Even my bones ache, down to the marrow itself, trudging about in this wretched armor. I feel as if I've used every ounce of mental aptitude I possess. Glitterbug was right. The sanctum is a testing grounds, and I believe it's been my patience that has been most heavily assessed. We allowed ourselves a short break after our experience with the spiders and wolves. Seredan seems out of sorts. Several times I've seen her hold Craggy up to her ear, only to pull it away and look at it with stifled contempt. Seredan asked Victor about his knives singing to him in discordant harmony. Seems the choir may not all fancy the same melody. I asked Victor about his knives returning to him in battle. He explained that he becomes bonded to the blade as he spends time with it. It becomes part of the dance of battle. It's almost as if the knife is an extension of him, and he an extension of the knife. They are one. Finally, it was time to embark on the next leg of our test. We each stepped through the purple-shrouded archway and found ourselves in a labyrinth made entirely of purple crystals. We were surrounded by rock on every side, as if we were actually inside a geode ourselves. The archway behind us quickly closed as crystals grew where it once was. There we were, once again trapped, with nowhere to go but forward. When at last the archway was gone, it was dark as night. All of us can see fairly well in the dark, with the exception of Bolt. They extended the chain in their arm, and Victor led them through the labyrinth. There was an eerie silence in the maze. Our footsteps echoed loudly down each hall as we struggled to find our way. We had to double back several times. The hallways were narrow, and we were constantly bumping into one another and stepping on toes. We didn't really need to walk so closely, but to say we were apprehensive about our straits would be an understatement. We were waiting for someone or something to jump out at us around every bend. In hindsight, I'm sure we looked like a pack of timid mice on the hunt for a bit of cheese, the savage glitterbug like a tabby watching us silently from her invisible perch, the occasional twitch of her tail the only tell of her consciousness. We eventually found ourselves in a room. The walls were adorned with simple sconces sporting purple lights. These walls, like the walls of the labyrinth, were made up entirely of lavender crystal. The shape and size of these crystals created a strange reflection, like seeing one's visage in a pond, but instead of viewing a perfect likeness, I was greeted by a distorted twin. In the center of the room was a single pedestal. Embedded in the column were 5 crystals stacked one above the other. Displayed on top of the pedestal was a rectangular-shaped box with no lid. We approached the box apprehensively. The box contained a tiny replica of the maze itself, a living blueprint of sorts. In the center, we found a tiny glitterbug figurine, like a doll in her sinister dollhouse. The figure was in a room identical to the one we stood in. Beyond the pedestal and the box were 3 doorways. The doorways were made of different types of gems, but where an opening to another room would normally be, there was a solid gem wall. The first doorway was made of rubies, and had writing above it in Infernal. The second was made of sapphires, above which was written, "Safe" in Celestial. The third was made of topaz, and had the word "unsafe" written in Common. Unfortunately, none of us can read Infernal. As we started dissecting our predicament, the gems on the side of the pedestal began to light up, one by one, like some sort of countdown. This put us all in panic mode. Seredan shrunk Craggy down and put it next to the glitterbug figurine in the box. It simply vanished, then reappeared next to her. She then tried to walk through the sapphire doorway, which said "safe" above it, hoping there was a hidden entrance, but there was no way through. Ezra was certain the model with the miniature glitterbug had a purpose in the puzzle. He picked up the little figurine and slammed it into the model's sapphire doorway. There was a bright flash and the whole room seemed to shift beneath our feet. The safe sapphire doorway was clearly not an option. With the time ticking away, Victor grabbed the glitterbug figurine and moved it to the ruby doorway in the model. Again, there was a bright flash of light and the entire room moved. It seemed the only option left was the topaz door, the one labeled unsafe. Bolt took up the glitterbug figurine and pushed her through the topaz door. As they did so, we were all magically transported into another room. This came as a huge relief. I did not want to know what happened if our time limit expired. The second room was almost identical to the one we had just been in. So began our puzzle-solving journey. After several rooms with gem-covered doorways labeled with cryptic messages, we entered a long, winding hallway. At the end of the hallway was a huge round room. The ceiling was 100 feet tall and was adorned with sharp crystals pointing downward. Not the kind of room you'd want to be in during an earthquake. On the perimeter of the room were 7 stone pedestals that were stuck in a circular groove in the floor. Atop 5 of the pedestals were stone statues. 1 pedestal contained a box, and the remaining pedestal was empty. Our eyes took in the scene before us. Another puzzle, no doubt. Suddenly, we spied a body across the room in a heap on the floor. I rushed over and knelt beside the body and found a gnome who is, without a doubt, Ainur Elevir. She was alive but unconscious. I moved to wake her, and Ezra started to panic. Ainur is from Willow Creek Hollow, as is Ezra. If she recognizes him, she could reveal his identity to the Arcanum. I mentioned in a previous letter that Ezra's father gave him a book, and the Arcanum have been hunting him down ever since. I revealed to Ezra that I know this book contains highly classified magic, which I can only assume is time magic. I've been instructed by Lucan, my employer, to find the book and to keep it safe from the Arcanum. We cannot let Ezra's book fall into the wrong hands. It didn't feel right to not at least try waking Ainur. Ezra agreed to hide behind Bolt as I gently put my hands on her. She wouldn't wake up. I tried to provide her some healing, but she must have been through something horrible, and her body had put itself in some sort of protective sleep. We wouldn't be able to do anything for her unless we could get out of the sanctum by completing Glitterbug's tests. Victor found a cloak, a tricorn hat, and a porcelain mask with red stripes down the cheeks in the box on one of the pedestals. As Victor studied the statues, he realized each one was a character from the story of the Weeping Swordsman. It took us a bit of time to devise a plan, and after being in the room for 10 minutes, everything began to shake. We heard a loud crack, and the ceiling above, the one with the dagger-like crystals hanging from it, dropped 10 feet. I could almost feel Glitterbug's amusement as we launched into hysteria. Before long, Victor was acting out the entire story of the Weeping Swordsman, playing the role of the title character himself. I've never heard the story. It was really quite heartbreaking. The story tells of a swordsman named Denarian, who had fallen in love with a noblewoman, Melina. Melina had been promised to another, but her father told Denarian that if he could prove himself, he could have Melina's hand in marriage. The swordsman bested every opponent sent his way, and it seemed, against all odds, a commoner would be allowed to marry a noble. But the tale ended in sorrow, as Denarian was framed for the murder of his beloved. He tried to prove his innocence to the Arcanum, but they didn't believe him. He was able to escape the Arcanum's clutches and ran into the night. It is said that Denarian now roams Terabon, seeking to right wrongs by killing his foes. He leaves his victims with 2 cuts on their cheeks, where the blood spills down their faces like grotesque red tears. I can't imagine the story is true, but if it is, I'll keep a careful watch if I ever find myself there again. About halfway through the puzzle, Victor discovered a dagger with an onyx gemstone inlaid in the hilt. According to Victor, this knife belongs with the 6th wing. I have much to learn about this group Victor belongs to. Most of the blades Victor uses have been given to him as gifts. His favored knife, which he calls Shadow Song, was forged by his father. I know Victor's mother is the leader of the 4th ring. I wonder where his father falls in the hierarchy of leadership. Victor finally ended the story of the Weeping Swordsman by killing one of the statues. As he did, another doorway opened in the circular room. Hopefully, a way out. Bolt picked up Ainur and carefully wrapped her in a cloak, then strapped her to their chest. We made our way into the next room. A large treasure chest sat in the middle of it, and Victor moved straight forward to open and examine its contents. As he approached, the chest began heaving. The lid shot open to reveal 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth. 6 terrible eyes blinked open just above the cruel mouth, which was dripping with saliva. The tongue of this creature whipped out and lashed itself around Victor's arm. Ezra quickly shot orange magic from his hands to stop the monster. Bolt tried to whip it with its chain, but I think having the gnome strapped to its chest made for a bit of an impediment, and they missed. I ran forward with my longsword and freed Victor by cutting the beast's tongue from its mouth. Sarai finished it off with the butt of her spear. It felt amazing to make such quick work of our enemy. We were rewarded 200 silver pieces for killing the monster, as well as a small stone pillar with a flower etched on its side. All this found within the belly of the beast. Another archway appeared, and we found ourselves once again in the courtyard of the sanctum with Glitterbug. She seemed both thrilled and perhaps a bit surprised to watch us best her second series of tests. We each took a moment to gather our thoughts before moving on to the final test. Finally, we could no longer prolong the inevitable, and we stood before the final archway. Bolt hung Einor's body in a tree, and I left her with my snuggle beast for comfort, and to help her body heal. There was no way we were going to risk her life by taking her with us through the 3rd archway. Glitterbug told us there was an aboleth beyond the orange barrier. Victor and Ezra described an aboleth as a large fish. I thought to myself, I've eaten plenty of fish. How bad could it be? I had no idea what we were about to face. We all cautiously walked through the orange barrier. We entered the burned forest, and I was filled with a sense of dread and hopelessness. Behind us, the archway vanished in a cloud of smoke. Mother, I consider myself quite brave. This past year, I've had to prove my courage on a daily basis, but I would be lying if I said I wasn't afraid in that moment. We walked in silence down a dark path. The trees all around us were bare and black. The ground was covered in ash. I was cautiously looking through the trees, trying to spy this great big fish Glitterbug had warned us about. I took a step forward, and I thought I had stepped onto a patch of moss, like the lichen that grow around the base of the trees in the forest at home. I looked down, expecting to find little mushrooms sprouting from the damp earth, but instead of green plant life, the ground was a sickly-looking purple and fleshy. The wine-colored earth spread out for nearly 80 feet from where we stood. In the center of the tissue-like ground was a mound. Sarai, forever the reckless hero, moved closer to the mound. When she was almost close enough to touch it, huge tentacles unfurled from the center. This wasn't the aboleth we were expecting, but equally as terrifying. Ezra tried to attack the beast with his orange magic, but it was swiftly absorbed into the monster's flesh, which soon started pulsing. It was rhythmic and haunting. The flesh continued to throb when suddenly, from within the mass, several insect-looking creatures emerged. They were the size of a fox and had claws with sharp pincers, like a cross between a cicada and a wheelbug. They were the most menacing-looking beasts I've ever seen. Several more encircled us after crawling out of the tree line. We were in trouble. What ensued was complete pandemonium. Victor began his hypnotic dancing and started throwing out knives, gnaw, clinch, and shadow song every which way, then called them back to him, slicing through the bug-like creatures. Sarai was then quickly attacked by the arthropod enemies. Bolt put their new gauntlets to good use and began smashing away at everything in sight, but was having a difficult time making any of their punches cause meaningful damage. Ezra shocked us all as he began using time magic. I am always delighted to see any kind of magic in use, having been so removed from it all of my life. But chronergy is truly something else. With the flick of Ezra's wrist, a line of shadowy Bolt silhouettes flanked Bolt on either side. Each counterpart glowed orange as Ezra determined which timeline he favored most. He decided upon a more agreeable outcome, and time truly stood still as that version of Bolt executed a perfect attack on the purple flesh beneath our feet. I won't pretend to understand what I saw, but I know it wasn't just my imagination. This power Ezra possesses is truly mighty. It is little wonder the Arcanum is so fixed on finding Ezra's book. Seeing chronergy magic firsthand makes me even more determined to protect Ezra and his power from getting into the wrong hands. It seemed we were making some decent headway, disposing of several of the large insects and slicing off a tentacle or two, but our luck was quickly running out. Before long, Sari had been knocked unconscious and grappled by a large tentacle. Victor was completely surrounded and then overrun by the wee beasties. Like the heads of the mythical Hydra, as we cut off one tentacle, another would appear in its place. Even Bolt, the bulkiest and most resilient of us all, was hurting. Ezra had a potion of healing on hand, which he drank to boost his strength. Bolt tended to Victor and I to Sari. As Sari came to, while still entangled in the creature's tentacle, she managed to slice through the massive mound with her glaive, killing it on the spot. Our work was not done, however. We still had the little pests to deal with, but with the death of their mother, the babies began acting strangely. Some turned on one another, others ran away, making our job much easier. Ezra threw a magical orange web on 3 of the beasts, entrapping them. Soon we had sliced through the last of them. The purple flesh was still wriggling and twitching, although it was clearly dead, like the chickens we slaughter for food. Exhausted, we approached the mound. Below the outer flesh, we could see a hoard of treasure within the monster. Ezra cut away at the flesh with his magic. We found a pile of money and gems and several potions. We also discovered a glowing ember core. We can only assume this was once Embarrass, the fire elemental that lived in this part of the sanctum, which must have been destroyed and absorbed by our violet-tinted foe. At the very bottom of the treasure, we found the most peculiar object. It appeared to be a shard of metal, shaped like a diamond, yet it was glowing with the brilliance of the sun. I have never seen anything like it before. Bolt cautiously picked the object up. It began shaking. We all took a step back, nervous of what new danger might befall us. I saw a combination of fear and astonishment flicker across Bolt's metal face as the object rose out of their hands and swiftly embedded itself in their chest, knocking them completely senseless.
All right. So everybody is standing around. Wait, sorry. Let me do that again. Welcome back. Leave that in. Welcome back to Tales of Aneria, session 5. 5. Here, just moments after Bolt is knocked unconscious.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah. Thank you. Please. Get in character. So you all defeated this giant tumor, and you were going through its treasure hoard, and you found this shining crystal gem something. It's very hard to look at, and Bolt picked it up, and it immediately launched at him, and a panel in his chest that none of you have ever seen opens up and slams into it, and then the panel closes, and Bolt just shuts down, which is something Warforged don't typically do. So tonight we're going to go ahead and start with Bolt. You're floating through nothingness, sort of like a gray miasma of smoke and void, but not actually like a void, just kind of like, that fog that that you float through when you're unconscious sometimes. Not that Bolt's ever been unconscious before. And you start hearing images, or not images, you start hearing images. Maybe.
What did I take?
Yeah.
Victor.
Wow, I can hear sound.
So you start hearing sounds, and you hear this great crash.
We're about to just keep going.
Sorry. It's not you. I'm laughing at him.
Yeah.
He said you can hear
sound. Oh wait, you can always hear sound.
Okay, all right.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Anyway, so you can hear sound. You are floating through this gray miasma. You hear what sounds like almost like glass shattering, but 10 times, 100 times, and then 100 times more in volume and what's the word I'm looking for here?
Amplitude.
Yeah, whatever. And you hear voices saying, "I've lost power to engine 3. Last one's gone. We're going down." And here, try and put us down somewhere where we won't die. That marsh looks good. And then you kind of see a flash of 4 people kind of standing over you. The weird nebulous shapes more than people. You can tell they're humanoid. And they're talking to one another, and they say, "We've got to do it. It's the only way that we're getting out of here." And you feel them pry open your chest and rip something out.
Okay.
And the last thing that you see before you fall unconscious, apparently before you were even aware that you have ever fallen unconscious, is them taking whatever they've ripped out of you and breaking it into pieces. So you guys, this only takes about 6 seconds. Barely enough time for you guys to act surprised, shocked.
We noticed, though, that he's fallen over.
Yep. So he falls over. You guys rush over, kneel down to see what's wrong. The panel opens back up. This crystal, this shining whatever, floats up out and just kind of hovers above him. And the panel just kind of stays open, and your eyes refocus and come back to life. And you're sitting there, and the thing is just floating over your chest now.
Is it still glowing?
It is very much glowing, yes.
What happened?
I'm not sure.
This thing, this must have been what the trio was telling me about. It shot into your chest. Did you feel anything?
Would it have been painful at all?
It wasn't painful.
I want to touch it.
Okay. Sarah, you touch it, and you hear the choir of the crags kind of pick up into that little, as it kind of like spins around a little bit, but there's no immediate reaction. Like, it doesn't open a panel in your chest or anything.
I assume
your flesh.
Flesh panel.
I assume I can see the shape, but I'm not really getting any vibes off it.
Yeah, so it's you can see it clearly through your blindfold. You haven't seen anything, like actually seen anything in a while, except for with your echolocation. But this thing is shining like a beacon. You can't see anything around it. It's basically covering your entire vision. And so instead of a big black blur, it's a big white blur. But you can see it.
I want to try to slowly, like, sit up and see if it, like, follows, or if it's, like... Basically, if it's stuck here, and if I move forward, does it come closer to me, or does it keep its distance?
It keeps its distance with you. And then as soon as, like, you're sitting up and it's no longer hanging over you, it drops to the ground.
I want to pick it up again.
Okay. It's in your hand.
What does it smell like?
What does it smell like? I take a big old sniff.
Wow. How do you smell light?
Okay, just give me a second.
It's different for every person.
And what does it taste like?
Yes, more importantly, what does it taste like?
Is it like a battery?
Science.
Like when you touch your tongue?
Like a 9-volt?
Yeah, 9-volt.
Who did I give inspiration to last time?
tingling.
Because you don't have it anymore.
Not me.
Not me either.
No, actually, I gave inspiration to everybody.
Oh, did you?
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we don't have it anymore.
No, you still have it. That's a joke.
Okay.
I'm just very scared. It smells like order and metal.
Smells like justice.
Okay,
No.
Batman.
No, order. Order.
Yeah, order. Not odor, order. Well, while I was unconscious, there was a vision or something, a memory perhaps, of, well, I was floating through kind of basically a sea of fog, and I heard voices calling out about some sort of failure of an engine, and a following crash in marshlands.
These were just the noises, or were you seeing visions?
There was noises at first, and eventually I saw 4 figures looming over me saying, this is the only way to survive, right?
This is the only way for us to get out of here.
This is the only way for us to get out of here. And then apparently opening up this cavity and prying what I assume is the whole portion of this, rather than just a shard, and then shattering it. And that's the last thing I saw before I woke back up and saw you 4.
Well, it does not seem to be what powers you, not your soul, because without it, you
must be
still
your
functions.
One thing I will point out.
I have courage now.
One thing that I will point out is that the piece that you're holding doesn't look like the piece.
Oh, it doesn't.
You can very clearly see that doesn't look like the piece. It triggered something in you, but it is not part of what was inside.
Oh.
While you're looking at it, I'm going to look and see if there's other panels on both.
Roll me an investigation.
Click. Not a robot.
So you say that this is different than...
Yes.
16.
You don't find any other panels on.
Do you think...
It feels
Most of them is covered in plate
similar,
armor, though.
but not quite the same.
Hmm.
The other one was, and I will describe it. However, it's you
don't really know what the other one looked like.
Yeah,
You just have like the distinct impression looking at this that this is not.
The other one, I'm not 100% sure. It was shifting between multiple different shapes. If you've ever heard of a fourth dimensional cube, I'm sure that's been theorized before, or a multifaceted gem, but it's something you cannot count the facets on. It just keeps shifting. But I don't know if that's its actual form or if that's just
And you know
what my memory is.
it was you, right? You saw your body. It was not another's memory.
Yeah, I would have looked down, in the memory. I could see, you can see
first person.
Yeah, out of your peripherals.
Yeah.
So it was first person.
May I?
Sure, it seems to be inert at this point.
I want to take it and I smell it. No, don't worry.
No.
Oh, you need to roll? Okay.
No. It doesn't smell like what he said it smells like, that's for sure.
Right.
You're like, oh, farts! Gross!
Birdie Bot's beans.
It smells like... It smells... So when Sari was up on patrol one night, she got really lucky and a tree nearby was struck by lightning. It smells like the ozone burning after that.
I don't know what kind of order you're used to, but unless it involves fire and burning, that doesn't smell like order to me. I want to lick it.
Roll me
You take
a
1d6
Constitution
fire
saving
damage.
throw, please.
Swallow it.
That is not fabulous.
He's going to have to roll multiple
13.
saving throws
13?
over the next couple hours as it works its way through.
And what's your spell save DC?
Let's see. It would be 3 plus 2 is 13 also.
So you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, it zaps your tongue a little bit, almost like licking a batter.
It sort of tastes like burning as well.
Victor, would you mind just giving it a sniff and seeing,
Everyone smell it.
see if
I
yours
don't
is different?
usually go and sniff things from other people.
But you've got the best sniffer of all of us.
That's what I'm afraid of.
It smells like a sheep.
This smells like sheep. I mean sheep.
Sorry.
I should have expected this.
Dallin is.
I'm gonna make
he is
Einor
giggling
smell it when we
tonight.
get
I don't know what it is.
Just
so bad that I made them look
So-
at the table again.
It smells like arcane. It smells like arcane magic.
It smells like my school.
Yeah.
You try, Evie.
Pass it here.
Everyone take a toke. Pass it on.
It's,
Puff, pass.
you're not sure where you've ever smelled it before, but it smells like a giant.
Oh, poop.
Kind of.
You two must be brothers.
That wormhole. That wormhole is in effect.
It smells like a giant. I really can't explain that. I've never met one.
When... Okay.
I have. It's not a pleasant smell.
No, it's not. The trio. They are the gods I serve.
Yes.
Has everybody done smelling the thing?
Yes.
Until we get back to Aneria, yes.
Okay.
I know.
Use it to make
Wakey,
a-
wakey, eggs
Yeah.
and bakey. Smell this.
Smelling salts.
You don't know us. Tell us what this smells like.
We need a sixth opinion.
There's like 5 adventurers standing over you as you wake up.
Bloodshot
Sniff
eyes.
this! It's like, smell my finger, you know.
That's so gross. Okay. They told me that we would find something in the sanctum that was surreal and like it didn't belong in this world. This has got to be what they're speaking of.
Unless it was that vomitous mass that just about destroyed all of us.
How
Could
could
be
it
that
not?
as well.
How could it not belong in this world if it's in this world?
And don't talk about Victor that way
Well,
in front of me.
Victor,
Wait,
there are
what
thing
did I
called meteorites. They're not
He
really from
doesn't
this
like me
world,
very
but
much.
they crash into the
Don't give him any
surface.
more reasons.
They make nice knives.
I
Good
need to
metal.
retcon something. You don't know what a meteorite is.
I don't know
What a
that.
meteorite.
I just assumed I was smart.
I just assumed.
No, you are very smart. You don't know what a meteorite is, though.
Oh, okay.
You vomit his mouth.
I thought
What's
this, so with stars, like
That's
what is
an
the do we see stars, understand stars?
Yeah, there's
Astrology,
stars
is
in
it
the
a-
sky.
Yeah, there are stars in the sky.
Okay.
Is it a
Constellations.
study of like constellations
Yeah.
and stuff?
There's an astrology.
It's-
You've seen shooting stars.
In fact, Manaport has one of the greatest observatories in the land.
Perhaps they know something.
Well, this is a bit of a mystery. I don't know that we're going to learn any more about it standing around here smelling
Is
it.
it
as entertaining as it's been.
is it magic?
Maybe it came through one of those portals that you fought off the undead from.
A void rift? It could
Yes.
be. But those only seem to bring bad things. Does
Well, what I'm thinking is that perhaps these crystals power others like you. Perhaps yours was taken and used for something else, and this originally belonged to another. Perhaps your brother? Well, or your sister? Or... I'm not sure.
If there's not a gender, how do you say boy or girl?
Yes, that's what I'm sort
Sibling.
of
family?
struggling with.
Your family,
Sibling, of
Yes.
course.
Sibling.
Eve, you said your gods said that there would be something. Did they describe anything in particular? Did they say it was an item or a creature or
How did they know?
I said something.
their gods?
Victor, do you not
Who knows?
have a god?
None that I trust more than my own 2 hands.
We'll have to fix that.
The feet
Absolutely.
beneath.
No, we'll have to fix that.
Excuse me. You may not know this, but my ladies blessed you all with a boon of health and recovery.
I didn't see any ladies other than you two.
I was confident it was the vodka, but
That does explain.
I do see.
It does explain
I mean, you
being
know.
able to
Like the
access
crusade.
our magics
Thank
quicker
you.
than normal.
Thank you, Bolt.
I'm saying I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying it's not something I'm familiar with.
Okay. They didn't give specifics. They just said it was something in the sanctum that would seem like it was not part of this world.
Perhaps we ought to take it back to the academy and see if
Give it-
anyone there might know more about it.
Perhaps the Arcanum went to look at it.
You're just so cute sometimes, Victor.
We're basically all glaring at you.
If it's a
Like,
problem that would affect all of us, you think you want to tell the people protecting you.
They're not protecting us.
Victor, do you honestly trust
I
the
guess they are.
Arcanum?
Not particularly, but they pay well.
Victor, are you on their payroll?
From time to time, I take a contract here and there. But I can't say I am in Arcanum. Per se, I know you have bad blood with them, but...
This is a Torrey question, Torrey, that I've been thinking about actually today, but how does the Arcanum get their money? Is it through, like, taxes? Like, taxpayer dollars, or...?
So they have wealthy benefactors. They have other businesses that they're in. They sell, like, they don't sell their services. They more just kind of act as like a retainer force. They also have a lot of different villages that it's not like paying tribute. It's more like you saved us, so we're generously donating food, and everybody kind of just pitches in to help the Arcanum.
So they're a non-profit.
Yeah, they're kind of like non-profit.
Is there
501c3.
any compulsion? There's never a compulsion to...
No, you're never
Even under the most
required. Like
strictest-
when you go there and you get like
That
a
you know
permit,
of.
they tap the little tip jar a little bit, maybe, but you're never required to pay anything
Okay.
for their services.
So it's like one of those
just-
socially, like, it's socially unacceptable to not...
Support.
But it's
But-
not absolutely required.
Yeah,
Got it.
it's
It's like
just kind of it's just one of those things where it's like, and to be honest, like they don't really want for much. Like you've never really seen an Arcanum guard that was like, oh, I need to have the greatest luxury item. They're usually very much like, we're all about justice and that's it.
I don't know.
Justice is our luxury.
Just the
You
car
know,
had a pretty cool hammer.
truth is the only drug that we need.
Justice sustains us.
Okay, Judge Dredd.
I was just going to grab the law.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, sorry, little guy.
It's okay.
Back to Victor.
Roll me a perception check.
The ceiling drops another.
Remember, because it was the...
Yeah, but
we're
you
not
have
in that
this,
room
like,
yet, huh?
18.
Or we're
Yeah.
past it.
So you kind of look around at this, what's kind of left of this fleshy growth on the ground, and you see that it's actually still moving, and it seems to be like collapsing in on itself.
I think we should move fairly quickly. The ground might not hold any longer. No.
Is it
I'll point it
stable?
out.
Can we take it, put it somewhere safe?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if we could take a sample in a jar or something, maybe to bring back to the
of
Arcanum, turn
the,
on
of
something
the,
and be like,
the
skin.
oozy thing.
If this is made of extra
yeah,
dimensional,
of the
don't
tumor,
put it in the bag.
of the tumor thing.
Yeah, you can take a sample.
Just take a knife out, just cut a chunk out.
Yep.
and-
Yep. And
Well, yes,
are you just
let's
leaving
go
the
then.
rest?
It's pretty big,
well,
isn't it?
Should
Well,
we
it's like
in
80 feet.
in times like
yeah.
this,
burn it?
fire works pretty well.
Okay.
So.
Fire does work really well against this thing. It starts burning it away.
Okay.
And
We'll
within
use fireball.
minutes, you've just cleared an entire swath, and everything is burnt. And it's just ground underneath.
Ezra and I are
Okay.
just like,
It's just burnt ground underneath. Yeah.
Is there fire bats from StarCraft
yeah.
2?
Light them up.
Light 'em up.
Can I attempt to close the cavity in my chest, or is that already?
I want to see what
Uh,
happens if you
it
put
is-
it back in.
Okay. I will try to.
As soon as it gets close, it's like trying to push a magnet
Yeah.
up against its
So it's like
positive.
Sarah does this, and I let it go.
Fascinating. So it seems to know that you are not its owner. For
Or
lack of
it's
a better
just
phrase.
one and done.
Is this
Just waiting
place
for
still
someone else.
collapsing?
Perhaps.
Is this place still collapsing?
I think it was just
it's
the
not
creature.
collapsing. It's just that
It's just kind of...
Just
the ground was like coalescing, basically
Okay.
that fleshy ground. But now it's
Should
just burnt
we
ground.
Perhaps Glitterbug might have some ideas what this is?
If we want to
trust her,
show
but-
her. But we ought
It's
not
up
to
to
leave
you,
the
you-
gnome much longer in her care, I think.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Whatever her name
And
is.
we'll get back. She's like
I know.
drawing a mustache on her.
Before we get back, Eve, there's
Yes.
something we kind of talked about, but not fully. You told me your employers told you, or sent you, to protect the book? Or protect me?
A little bit of both.
Who do you work for? And how do they know who I am? I'm no one.
They don't...
It's all right, Evie. I think we can trust them.
Okay. The man I work for was contacted by someone, I don't know who, explaining that there was a book of magic that they were interested in, that the Arcanum was after. I was told its last known whereabouts, which was old
Willow Creek Hollow.
Willow Creek Hollow.
Old Willow Creek Hollow.
Good old Willow Creek.
I knew Willow Creek Hollow was so much better.
Yeah.
That's too posh.
It's debatable.
I was told that that was the last whereabouts, and he asked me to look for it. So when I met you and you said that's where you were from, and you just so willingly told us about being on the run from the Arcanum because of this book, I just put two and two together. I did tell my employer about you, and that this was before I knew you, really. And he said to keep an eye on you, and that you probably needed as much help as you could get to make sure that it was out of the hands of the Arcanum. I don't know if the person who wants this means you harm. I don't know for what purpose they are looking for it.
What does your employer want with it? Do they want it, or just...
We've been contracted to collect it.
Find it. You've been contracted to find it.
Been contracted to find it. That's what I meant to say.
See, I'm not
And-
the only one that takes contracts here. I don't see you doing it. It's okay.
There, Victor.
That being said, I know that puts things in an interesting situation. I need to speak with my employer. Can I do messages work?
They might. You can try one.
Let me try something. That was piece of parchment.
A peach apart.
A peach of parchment.
You see
All right.
Glitterbug in the next room, like, reading it, and then, like, writing back, and then...
Glitter bug.
It was her all along.
Let me send him a message. We'll see if I can. So, Eve is going to write a message on this piece of parchment that says, Have you heard word from the person who has hired us to find this book? What do they want with it? Do they mean this young man harm?
Okay.
And I will get out my ring and say base and roll up the parchment and try to push it through.
It goes right through.
Okay.
That was incredible.
It takes about...
Quite a fascinating device out there.
It was a gift.
Takes about 5 minutes, and then you get a reply back. Comes out. Well, technically, the ring grows cold until you say the command. I think it's the same command word. Yeah, and then the scroll kind of like
Or
appears
is it
into
reverse?
the ring.
Asab.
Isab.
And sorry, Dodger. And the scroll says, "Negotiations have stalled. Keep with him. I'll give you more information soon."
Well, you share that with them.
This is what it says.
I trust that you'll make the right decision when the time comes, if it comes to it.
Ezra, I trust the trio more than anything, and they have said that you are a worthy companion. And so if it comes between choosing loyalty to my employer or you, I would choose you.
Thank you.
Well said.
That's strong words coming from a paladin as well.
Speaking of employment, Bolts, I think our contract is technically resolved.
I think you're right.
I hope you still travel with me. You kind of become my only friend.
Later. See ya. I honestly, I haven't had this much excitement in decades, so I'm curious to see where all this ends up, and if you guys are willing, I've got some places we could possibly go and try to find out what that shard is, or maybe find others like it.
Find the one that was removed from you.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I say we go back to town. Our time's probably almost up. We don't want.
Yeah, you got about 45 minutes
We
left.
don't want Glick or whatever to abandon us here.
Indeed.
Guess.
Guess.
It's just a thing now that I don't know names. I don't remember names.
It's not my job to. It's not my job to correct the players. Except for when it comes to meteors.
Let's
Call the phone. No.
let's go ahead and get back to the sanctuary then, and
Is
see if I know.
there a way out?
Yeah, the way you came.
But that archway disappeared.
Oh no, there's a trail with an archway leading right back to that main sanctum.
Let's go.
Let us go.
All right.
Expeditiously.
Back on the road.
Nobody ate anything while you were here, right? Nobody ate anything in this place.
I
swallowed a rock.
Technically, you had some love sap, but I don't think that counts.
I
Yeah.
licked the crystal.
Did you lick it? Oh, that's right, you did. Battery.
Yeah.
Battery.
You ate a battery.
Tasted like a battery. So you guys go back through the archway, back to the main sanctum, and you find Glitterbug happily dancing around through the air. Well, I guess flying around through the air. And she goes, it's done. I can feel it gone already. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for clearing that corruption out of there.
Are you talking about this? And I hold the jar up.
And she drops down, and she does that little cat thing where they like arch and hiss at it a little bit, except for it's a dragon. And she's like, yep, that must be it. That feels right. It's a bit smaller than I thought an aboleth would be.
It wasn't an aboleth. It was some kind of mound of flesh with tentacles. Similar to an aboleth, but
It was not boring. Trust me.
Yeah, as we come out with like cuts and
Yeah, I'm
scrapes
like
and
half
burns and
dead.
like
Well, more than half.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. I was, but then I came back.
And she says, well, you did what I wanted you to and what I asked, and therefore, congratulations, you have beaten Hollow Bend Sanctum. Hopefully you grabbed the treasure from the last place, yes?
What treasure?
Oh, well, anyway,
Well,
if you missed it...
Is there a way to help your to make the mudmen shut up? Is there a way to make your friend, your other guardian, come back to life? I believe we might have a piece of them.
You have his core?
We have his every core, and I grabbed that out of the pack.
Oh, that would make things a lot easier. If you can find some sort of shaman or druid that might be able to bring him back, that would be great.
It's gonna take
Otherwise, it's
level
going to take a
druid.
while.
But
I'm not paying for that.
so we bring it back to life, and then what?
It should find its way back to me,
Should.
eventually.
And Maris.
Yes.
Has it
Or whatever
burns its way
spawns from it.
across
Sometimes elementals are weird.
Perhaps we
She says, changing colors immediately afterwards.
bring it back here before casting any
no
sort
weirder
of
than our present
revivification spell on it.
Maybe, perhaps. But I did promise you a reward if you cleared the evil, so just a moment. And she flies off just through the archway, just barely into Emberland, and she grabs, she snaps a burnt twig off, and she drops it in Ezra's hand. And then she rushes off to Snowland, and she snaps off one of the frozen twigs and comes back and drops it in Ezra's hand. And then she runs to the crystal archway, and she kind of picks a little bit of the ground until she grabs a small little fleck of that crystal labyrinth that you guys walked through. And she comes back and she puts it in Ezra's hand. And as soon as like all three of them are in your hand, the two twigs start twisting together, and the crystal kind of goes up and caps on top of it into a magical wand.
Ooh, sweet.
And you can identify it
Yeah.
if you want, and I'm going to send you the link in the assets page here so you can see it. But for everybody at home, this is a Wand of Fairy Mischief. This is my homebrew item. It's an uncommon item. It requires attunement by a spellcaster. It has 4 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges. If you do, you point the wand at 2 creatures that are within 60 feet of you that you can see and are within 30 feet of one another. You may target yourself with the ability. When you do, each creature must make a dexterity saving throw with a DC equal to your spell casting DC. to avoid the dazzling array of colors that streak from the wand. A creature can choose to intentionally fail the saving throw if it wishes. If both creatures fail their saving throw, they swap places, teleporting into one another's square instantly. If one creature makes it save and the other does not, the creature who failed their saving throw is pulled 20 feet towards the creature that made its saving throw, unless blocked by an object. If it would enter a space occupied by another creature or object, the failed creature is pulled into the space adjacent to the other target. They collide, and the target who failed their saving throw takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage. And then they are stopped from there. And then if both creatures make their save, they may each move up to 10 feet in any direction they choose without provoking opportunity attacks. It regains 1d4 charges at dawn, and if you spend the last charge, you have to roll a d20. On a 1, it turns into a remnant of the fairy dragon that made it, in this case, Glitterbug. And they will shout that you have to find them and then run off. And if you can't find them within, I think they hide within like a 20-mile area or like a 1-mile area or something like that. But if you can't find them within an hour, the wand disappears. Otherwise, it returns to your hand with, I think it's with a charge.
Interesting.
Yeah, it transforms back into the wand with 1 charge remaining. So it's
the wand of battlefield placement. / mischief. Because it could go wrong. Cool.
Yeah, and Victor, I don't think I answered your question fully, but if you do resurrect the Guardian, Glitterbug does believe that will calm them down. In fact, she even says that they'll calm down naturally now that the aberration is gone.
Okay.
It's just going to be a matter of like regathering Guardians at this point.
Okay.
Perhaps the Arcanum will pay us a bonus if we can deliver this bit of, core and information.
I like the way you think.
That's a first.
For you, ever? Or
Yes.
just from Victor?
No one has ever said that to me before in my entire life.
You'll never hear me complain if there's more money involved. Unless it's coming out of my pocket, of course.
Can you all keep it down just a little bit? I've got a splitting headache.
The baby's awake!
Wait, what? And she goes, wait, why am I in a crib? What are these?
I pick her up and I hold her against me and I go, there. It's okay.
I'll take back the cloak.
What's going on here? Who are you all? Sorry, who are y'all?
Ainor, I presume.
That's right. Reputation precedes me as usual.
It does. My name is Eve. It's so nice to meet you. We
Nice
came
to meet
looking
you too.
for you when you were missing from the festival?
Oh, you're the rescue party.
Yes, obviously.
So you've heard of us.
Well, you're trapped in here too then.
No, actually.
And no, there is actually a 4th gate now. Yeah.
Not any longer.
Oh, you actually managed to do all the challenges. Well, that makes me feel a little terrible.
What brought you here in the first place?
Well, it was either this or bandits. It seemed like this was the better idea at the time.
And so Glitterbug told you that in order to get out, you had to go through all of the...
Yep. Apparently this place is some sort of crucible.
I believe it was a dungeon. Is what you said.
Sanctum! Still flying overhead. Whatever.
Worst sanctum ever.
Victor sniffs at the idea of a gauntlet.
You can't say gauntlet because then we have to put the gauntlet card in every time. You gotta stop that.
So, let's see. You were on the road, you were attacked by bandits.
Yeah.
You ran through here. You got
Yeah.
stuck, apparently at the play. You might need to refresh your memory about...
You know, I haven't seen it in a long time. I got a few things wrong, and you know what? That Noel's tougher than he looks. That's for sure.
He's fair. It was pretty hard.
But it seems like you all did okay.
Well, there's 5 of us and 1 of you. I'm impressed you got that far.
I did lose my friends, that's for sure.
We found some
Friends.
of them
Employees.
with the
but
spiders.
They were like friends.
Oh.
Yes, the one that was hanging in the...
And the
Yes,
stone.
right.
Ah.
Sorry about that. They smelled like spices.
Yeah, I mean,
Old
they
Spice.
carried us. Look at that stone statue. Now look at me. Now back to the stone statue. It's also me.
And now we're sponsored.
I'm on a horse.
I'm on a horse.
Yeah, well, So both of them are dead?
Unfortunately. Unless you have a way to unpetrify someone.
No, he's dead.
He's gone.
Victor vividly remembers shattering him to pieces when he knocked him over.
He's dead. Next day on the open stage.
I mean, I don't. I'm just a chef.
Trying to see if I speak pig Latin.
It's just weird common.
No.
It's just orc.
Don't.
Hey, I resemble that.
You resemble that.
It's actually Ubby Dubby. That's orc.
Ah. Well, I think Glitterbug, this has been lovely.
It's been fun. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Right now?
I'll call you.
Oh, okay. With that ring of
and-
yours?
Yes, actually.
And may I? And she taps it and she goes ting 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 ting, and it flashes purple for a moment, and she says, "Just call my name."
Ah.
So now you can communicate with Glitterbug as well.
The equivalent
You have
of like
a
put your
pen
number in
pal.
my phone.
Yep. All you have to do
You're
is
just gonna
write
get-
your message and say Glitterbug, and it will send a message.
Just
to
ghost
You're
her.
you're gonna get random text messages.
Yeah.
You up?
You are.
In the middle of
Is this a booty call?
My fairy dragon booty call.
Why is she sending me pictures of eggplants? It's so weird.
Glitterbug slide into your DMs.
She just loves eggplants.
Yep.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Well, Ainor, why don't we get you back to the brew bash? It might not be too late.
Do you think you can walk, or would you prefer to be baby?
I bend over like when you're like a little kid, like
And she like slaps your hands away, like fully not caring that it's literally metal and plate, you know. And she's just like, I can walk. I'm fine. I'm fine.
Do you need any medical attention?
No, I mean I feel great, except for the splitting headache. But I assume that's just being unconscious and or whatnot.
Glitterbug, is there anything you can do for those of us who've been injured? Wink, wink, hint, hint.
And she disappears.
Oh.
I
What a
left her
host.
smile for a
Yep.
little bit.
I'd be happy to provide some heals to anyone who needs.
Let's get.
I felt better, but perhaps on the
I'm
ship.
We have those medical tents back at the festival.
That's true.
Let's get back on the.
We just might need to get drunk first again.
We can do that.
That would be easy.
You guys
apparently,
would
for
have
us.
had enough time to take a short rest while you were talking, I think.
Okay.
You guys spent that long with plus.
I took a really short rest.
Yeah.
There for a minute.
6 seconds short rest.
D8. I need all the hit dice I can go.
Sari, did you ever have any little snugglies like this when you were young?
Actually,
You say, spending an hour just like curled up next to each other.
Who's the big spoon?
The snugglies.
They are.
The snuggle beast is the big spoon.
This is getting weird.
I'm casting large on the snuggle beast.
actually, my mother did give me. Well, it was a little baby dwarf. Actually, it didn't make a lot of sense to me at first because I didn't know who my dad was. But she took it away from me when I was about 12. So not since then. You?
Yes, of course. An owl,
Ah.
surprisingly. Maybe not surprisingly. I think we should name them.
Good idea. Let me check the poll results really quick. I was thinking
At
about
this very moment.
I was thinking about naming mine Mr. Growly for owl, get it?
I love it.
And bear.
Okay, I think I will name mine Tufflepuff. It rolls off the tongue.
That's quite cute.
Tufflepuff!
Perfect.
Way better than a Hufflepuff.
Legally
Those guys
distinct.
are Tory.
It's at least 30% different.
Tufflepuff.
I'll just
Puff and
cover
Mr.
this
Growly.
for the rest of the
like
episode
it.
and we'll be fine.
So are they named?
All right.
2 little tiny collars appear from Glitterbug around the snuggle beasts for
Nice.
you. So
And they have a BFF.
oh yeah,
a
it's,
little
it's
Two little
definitely like
hearts.
half of a heart that
Right,
each thing.
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and on the back it says best friends for feather.
For a feather. Mm-hmm.
I wish we had these for us, Sari.
That was Scott's idea.
T-shirt
I like it.
idea.
Yeah.
Another set of collars appears in human or in elf size. If you want them,
Collars?
they look exactly like the Snugglebee's collars. Glitterbug is hilarious.
Eve
Not
is wearing
me.
it.
It's just a choker.
It's just a choker. Yeah, you guys are wearing
I love it.
chokers. That's a best friends for feather.
Is she from
Money.
Hot Topic or something?
They have
the manager.
They're like studded with a. Wow.
You know, I once had something that
Guys
I,
look really
I snuggled
90s.
with as well. It was my trusty
man, that's really
knife
nice.
cleaning kit. It smelled nice.
Sorry, what?
It was what I cuddled with. It's all I had.
Not quite as cuddly.
Victor.
Nothing quite like the smell of blade oil.
Well, at least you got gifts from your mother.
I'm sorry. How old are y'all?
53. 22. Or 3, I can't remember what I said originally.
20. Oh.
22, but then we
I
leveled
think.
up to 23.
Yes, 22.
How old are
We're
you?
the same age.
I'm well into my
Interesting.
60s. That's for sure. I don't know how long gnomes live.
I think they're average human lifespan.
Yeah,
Hopefully
she's middle
longer
aged.
than
The snuggle meats might be new, but surely blade oil.
I'm like
That's
one day
forever.
away from 60. My thing's glowing.
Blade and beard oil.
Well, I feel well rested.
I do as well. Cascas!
Shall we head back to Click Click?
You're just gonna start yelling at us.
Oh,
Cascas!
before we got outside, the guy that we're with is trying to fix your stuff.
Oh,
Don't be alarmed. And if something's missing, it's his fault.
Fix.
all right then. So you guys exit the archway, and you start walking back through the forest of Paladin Sanctum. Behind you, you see it kind of like shimmer, and the sanctum itself disappear.
We just
to
get
Do I get the rest of my
this
roll back?
haunting giggle, like that's a killer.
Do I get the rest of my roll back?
Yes, you can recover the rest of your rope. It is still hanging out there.
Do
Straight
I have to
here.
like reconnect it?
You need a mending
I'll have to go
cantrip.
and splice
Yeah,
it
you'll
back
need, you'll
together.
need a
I don't
mending
have that.
cantrip.
But
You're a tinkerer and you don't have the mending cantrip?
We can splice rope.
Yeah, right now it's
I can just
not.
burn the 2 ends together with firebolt.
Perfect.
You also do see as you're kind of leaving, you see that this once unpopulated forest, like I described like a little bit of a ruined village and everything. You see that there are actually now wolves moving among it, and you can see in some of the darker towers there are a couple spiders that are making new webs, and they all seem to be just kind of moving about, not really hostile towards anything. It just seems that the forest is a little bit more lively than when you left.
They're snuggling with each other.
I feel pretty good about that.
Spiders and
She
wolves.
is the big spoon, which means all 8 legs.
Apparitions, here we come.
it's like when you dress your German Shepherd up in the
spider.
costume. So all the children are
They like have a
have the
wolf
spider
head
legs.
and
They don't
like
do anything.
spider
They just
legs.
kind of
Dang it.
hang and shake a little bit.
Creepy.
I have 8 eyes.
Let's get out of here.
Indeed, let us get out.
That is an apex predator.
So you guys traveled about an hour to get in here. Or not an hour. You traveled about like 10 minutes to get into this part of the forest, and it takes about as much time to get to the outside edge. And you can see that as you come out of the forest, you see that the airship is much higher than it was before. Like it's nearly up in the cloud cover, almost as if it's just like trying to be as distant as possible from the forest itself. The wagon is gone completely.
Of course.
What about the ladders?
The ladder is retracted right now.
Okay.
And it's a little disconcerting until you hear a rumbling voice say, well, looks like the kid wasn't lying after all. And you all kind of like turn around, and coming out of the forest is a large minotaur. And he's kind of got an axe slung over his shoulder, and he says, so you're the ones who just got out of Hollowbed Sanctum, is that right?
Indeed. And you are? My name is Eve.
Oh, my name's not important.
Hello, not important. I am Bolt.
Nice to meet you, Bolt.
He's both the dad and the mom of this little...
I think what's really important is what you got inside Hollowbed Sanctum. All that treasure, all that loot. surely you can part with a little bit of it for good old-fashioned
Oh, absolutely.
traveler like myself.
Absolutely. Here, I got something for you. And I'm going to throw a dagger right in his face.
Ooh.
So you throw the dagger, and there is a flash of energy,
Okay.
and the dagger is deflected as this kind of squirrely-looking wizard comes out from behind him, flexing his fingers a little bit. He says, "That wasn't very nice."
Neither is robbing people.
The last time I crossed 2 robbers in the woods, all that was left of them were their boots.
Really? I better bring more than 2 then. And 3 more figures step out of the forest.
Meow, film.
Having an extra pair of boots isn't going to help you, man.
Are
Bad
these
charisma.
the... talking to... Not Yenny.
Einor.
Einor. Einor, are these the miscreants that were bothering you?
No, the ones that were bothering me were, I think they were elves? Elven bandits? I'm not exactly sure, but it wasn't this guy.
Are all these... a Minotaur? All Minotaurs?
So it's a Minotaur. There are 3 humans, the wizard and the 2 other human bandits. And then there is a 4th member, and it's an orc. And it looks like he just literally has just 2 packs of javelins, one on each shoulder.
I'm gonna cast the darkness spell.
Okay.
And you all have to pretend like this didn't happen last time.
Okay.
Okay.
Because the
happened?
first
Yeah,
time
what?
it's
What are you
supposed to be
talking
cool.
It's all that time magic.
Yeah.
It messes with me.
This is going to be cool.
So, yeah, no, Eve, like, sensing, or Eve, I just called myself you. Sorry, sensing, like, a fight coming, she just it's almost like it just sort of bursts out of her, right? Like, her eyes just go black, and there's this sort of inky blackness that comes out of Craggy, of the glaive that she's holding. And it just sort of, like, covers, like, I guess all of us, assuming we're all everyone's standing within 15 feet
Yeah,
of
I
each
assume
other.
we'd all be pretty close to that.
Thought we were all holding hands.
And yeah, she doesn't actually say anything. She's just like, almost like she's struggling against it. You know what I mean? A little bit. But then, yeah, it's just like this big bubble of darkness, I guess.
And you hear the other guy shout a command at this hostile action of darkness, and we're gonna go ahead and roll initiative and get into combat here.
Nice.
You guys took that short rest.
When Sarai does that, I wouldn't notice any change.
No.
Would I hear anything?
You get the feeling like
Would it be like an
so-
oppressive feeling, or
yeah, your echolocation is an interesting thing. Your blind sight, because blind sight technically means you can see.
it's just sound?
It's
yeah.
just
like
sound. It's just like
Daredevil.
the movement
sight.
of air and stuff.
Yeah, I
Is
would
there
say-
any like disruption? Like, I guess for me, does it distort anything?
Yeah,
or,
I would say
I'm-
magic has a very weird effect on
like-
the area.
It's like iron, like when you taste iron or something,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Okay.
Ezra, what is your initiative?
10.
What?
I know.
I might drop you out of top spot finally.
Yep.
Eve, what is your initiative?
14.
14. Victor.
4.
Bolt.
Roll the natural one.
13.
And Seredan.
9.
I have to make up for all those natural 20s last time.
The ebb and flow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
The orc goes first.
The javelins.
And he's going to have disadvantage either way, because the javelin is only 30 feet. So he's just going to try and huck a spear into that darkness. And because you're all sitting in there, we're just going to go ahead and call it a d6. Ezra.
Alright.
The one in the back.
You guys all duck? Like,
It goes over
loved it.
Sarah's head just barely.
I can see it coming.
Oh, that's
It
right.
is a 10 to hit.
misses.
Okay. This javelin basically comes sailing through the darkness and just kind of hits the ground next to your feet. And you hear the orc curse and say, I can't see them.
Would I still have 4 hours left on my
Yes.
nature mark? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Eve, then it is your turn.
I can't see, right?
By the way, while we were away, you asked Ainor if she was a good fighter.
Yeah.
And she replies with, I'm a cook.
So that's a yes.
Get out your frying pan.
Dude, yeah, have you ever seen
Two
Gordon
butcher
Ramsay in a
knife.
fight? I wouldn't want to fight him.
I was thinking Rapunzel from Tingle Dancer.
When you say like
Kes is
when
the
you
one
say
with the
that's right. When you say I can't see, I'm just like, sorry, Evie, I'm not quite sure what just happened.
It was amazing, and I love you anyway. Let's go. So, let's move.
Sorry, I can help.
Wait.
Okay.
Not close enough to do anything.
Okay. All right then.
You could dash. You could use
Yes, I
bonus action.
could.
Or but I was like, I mean, you could cast a spell like bless, for example, or something like that. But you, of course, actually, you couldn't cast bless because you can't see us. You can't see us.
Is he gonna whisper? It's free real estate in your ear. Good one.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
Trying to get all of you.
But if I dash, that takes my action.
If you dash, yes, that will take your action.
No, I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Bolt yells out, "Leave the big one to me."
If you'd like, you can use your action to dodge to get disadvantage on attacks against you.
That's true.
Or like everybody.
Yeah,
That's
take the
what I'm
dodge
gonna do.
action.
Okay. So Eve comes running out, and she just like as you're running, you're just kind of like getting ready to like weave. You kind of get this feeling of like that kind of serpent-like pattern that you've got going on. You can feel the fang flowing through you. Bolt.
I feel you
I'm
flowing
gonna
through
just,
me. You're doing great.
I'm just going to take off running forward 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I'll run right up next to Eve, and as I'm running, I extend the chain that's dragging behind me, and then I whip it out to the Minotaur.
Thorn whip.
Yeah, thorn whip.
Okay. There.
That's a 17.
A 17 will hit.
Awesome. Ouch. D6. 6 damage.
Okay.
And then it pulls him 10 feet towards me.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he's large or smaller, I think, right? Larger than
He's a large creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
So technically, he's a large creature, so he will take up 4 squares.
Cool.
What?
Yeah.
So he's closer to me than.
So is he here or
He
here?
was?
He would have been back.
Oh, back more. Okay.
Let's get him.
There you go. Like
Yep.
that.
Yep. Now he's there. Yep. So you whip your chain out. He kind of braces it with the axe, so it kind of just like scrapes.
I can't hook around his nose ring.
He doesn't have a nose ring.
Oh,
It's a bone piercing.
Oh, okay.
But you do pull him forward, and he kind of stumbles. But now you are face to face with the Minotaur. But it is a.
This isn't the first time.
So the bandit on the left goes next. They look like they're the same person, but they're not. And he's just going to try and fire a crossbow bolt at Eve. She was the first one out.
Disadvantage.
Yep. So that is a 9 to hit.
That will miss.
And you kind of just like deflect it with your sword, the bolt itself. It's really cool, and you're not sure if it was quite intentional, but you did it anyway.
That was cool.
Did you guys see that? Oh. Bolt is in darkness.
I saw it. Good job.
Thank you.
It sounded really cool.
It sounded really cool.
The wizard
Thank you,
is going
Victor.
to, again, like, he's kind of got these weird, like, hand motions, and he does a few more, and this black bolt of flame forms in his hands, and he shoots it out at Bolt.
Thanks. Dang Eldritch Blast.
He's a wizard.
23 to hit.
Well, it's like in Falcon and Winter Soldier. They just call them all wizards, no matter what they are.
Yeah, he's not
23
wearing
hits.
Okay, so you're going to take
He's wearing
4
a
fire
headdress.
damage.
Nope, you will not.
Oh, wow.
Because I will use my reaction
Nice.
for interception.
Okay.
Nice! Yay.
D10.
D10. D10.
8 plus 2, so 10.
Okay. So, yeah, you basically sword knock it away to the one side, and then your shield comes out and blocks the fire bolt expertly.
Dang. Eve is really cool right now.
She is. And then
Good one.
Then the trickster is going to back up about 20 feet. Thank you. And he's just going to just turn back there. He's a little squirrely. Ezra.
Glass cannons.
Okay, I'm going to just keep walking until I eventually come out of the darkness. 10, 15,
You
I can
cover
see.
everybody in protective darkness, and then they just leave.
Yeah, technically.
Grateful.
Right there.
And then seeing the battlefield, they'll go 25, 30, and try and get closer to that rock. Let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna use my second level spell slot, drop down a web on these guys.
Nice.
Oh, nice. So they have to make a saving throw. Right?
Yes, when on the start of their turn.
Okay.
This is that
Each
time
creature
when-
that starts
the
its
slow
turn
time
in
thing.
the web
Yeah.
must make a dexterity saving throw on a failed, so they're restrained unless they break free, which is against my spell DC.
Okay. Yep. So you kind of flip through your tome and you lay down this oppressive force of time again.
Just slowing them down. Clocks are moving almost backwards. Just like teetering on a second.
My watch
doing that.
isn't
It's
working
doing that, like-
properly.
Yeah. It's like,
I
Trapped in a
have
moment.
felt that before.
Yeah.
With my kids, I'm trying to get them to go to bed at night.
Or when they're explaining a YouTube video to you.
2:50 p.m. on a school day when you're sitting in final class. You're
Absolutely.
almost done with your homework.
Or a Friday at work.
No, or a Friday at work.
Especially the weekend before a holiday.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep, all that is the emotion.
They're all like,
I feel it in my bones.
They're super anxious.
And then it's Seredan.
Okay. I'll turn quickly to Victor and be like, Vicky, can you see still? And you know what I mean by see.
Well, I could not see before. I'm fine. Yes.
Great. Follow me. And
What did you do?
I say, just you and I, apparently.
Okay, but I need you to call them out. I can't see them.
Right, we're going for the big green one.
I can't see colors.
Just follow me.
You're so insensitive.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And it's very easy for Victor to see Seredan.
Okay,
Because the faint whistling that her glaive is making, because it does have those pins in it.
Okay.
And then Einor goes, "What the hell just happened?"
I like her. She's funny.
Listen, you
doing the whole going from darkness into bright sunlight.
little cook person, you
Trying
have
to
something
tunnel.
to at least defend yourself. Should I leave you here?
Yeah, it's called my feet.
You go hide somewhere.
So I'm going to bonus action cast Hexblade's Curse on the orc here. And then throw out an Eldritch Blast. I'm assuming with advantage, unless he can see me.
He cannot see you.
Okay.
I did
So
not give this
19
orc
crits with
Nice.
Hexblade's Curse.
Booyah.
So, tell me, D10. Oh, well, 10 plus. Where's my 10 die? Ooh, very nice. So that's 23 damage.
23 damage. Very
Nice.
So you see this darkness coalesce in front of you as you're just continuing to channel this energy that you've never felt before.
Yeah.
And this banshee's wail of a scream comes out, and the darkness itself pushes out as sort of this black streak, and it slams into the orc and engulfs him. And when it fades away, the orc is gone.
Oh, nice.
Victor recoils at the screech. Like,
Yeah, it definitely is. It is not a pleasant scream.
Now we're all scared of you.
you said I was supposed to help you.
Right. Go for the Minotaur in that case.
There's a Minotaur.
Can't you
Just-
tell by the
Can't you
timbre of his voice?
Yeah, smell him also. No offense.
He's going to take offense to that. And
He smells like mane and tail. It smells
Like,
good.
I use Old Spice every day.
Oh!
So he lets out
I'm on a minute.
a bullish. I'm not. Let's see. Yeah, thank you. I was gonna try to do
That's
it,
more
but it
like
wasn't gonna
how-
come out right. I could already
I
tell.
don't
So he's going to attack recklessly,
Bree like it? No.
which means he just has
Right?
advantage on the
Right.
attack against you.
That's
because
like a
you were
horse.
taking the
Or,
damage.
so
not
normal,
advantage,
yeah.
They just yell.
So that is a 20
Tend to
to
smoke
hit.
noise.
That will hit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then he will take.
Sorry.
Mhm.
I don't have Agonizing Blast, which means I would have only done 20 damage to him, to the orc.
Still.
Okay, sorry.
Still
I'm
obliterated.
I'm realizing I don't get my charisma bonus because I don't have that.
There's just a
invocation.
hand left instead. Instead of all
His
And
finger.
it's like,
What?
yeah.
Did you crit?
I will
with
max
another
damage.
His middle finger.
So you take This hurts.
Uh-oh.
This hurts. 28 slashing damage.
That is
He has 28 hit
my
points.
hit points.
Yeah. So he just goes, I smell great! And slashes and just drops.
Oh no, Evie!
For those following along at home, that's 2 12s on D12s. That is
Doesn't get much better.
Spicy.
only
Or
would only
worse.
be better if it was a crit and I did that. Yeah. So Eve drops to 0, drops to the ground. Huge gash, like in her armor, across her,
Oh,
chest, everywhere.
Seredan is very distraught.
What happened?
Got it.
So
Coming.
okay,
Minotaur.
I want to
Without a
curve
name.
this a little bit. Victor can kind of see, like it's great. It's great for the comedy, but you can like observe around you and know where things are. So you should be okay in that regard.
Really sounds a battle.
So, yeah. So you do hear this roar and you hear Eve scream as this thing,
Okay.
as if a dog scared.
I know what this sound. Yeah, the scream sounds
Yeah,
like.
you know what the scream sounds like.
Is it my turn?
And it is, in fact, not your turn. It is the
I should just
first.
put that in as a sound effect.
Yeah.
Of your scream from earlier.
Yeah.
Save that file. We'll need it.
The bandit is going to go. He's going to try and make a save against being restrained. And he does not, I believe. What is it again?
My dex is 14, or my save is 14.
And it's a dexterity save.
Yes.
throw? Yeah, he does not make a save, and he's restrained. Now, does that provide disadvantage on attack rolls as well?
It should say around the ring. What does it say? It's difficult terrain. Each turn dex save restrain until they break free. Speed is 0. Attacks and dex saves have disadvantage.
Okay, so he's gonna try and
Which one?
lazily,
Which one's restrained?
the one on the right.
All right.
He slowly brings up his crossbow, and you can see that kind of like weird ripple effect as the time slow hits him. He's gonna try and shoot at Ezra.
Yeah, there's the when it's like the echo effect.
It's like he's lagging.
12
Misses.
Okay. Yep. You're easily able to see that crossbow bolt, and you dodge out of the way. You make sure that Victor doesn't get hit by it behind you as well. So that's good. And then it is Victor.
Okay. Hearing what's going on, I am going to use my full movement. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then when I can kind of see her on the ground, I'll say, Bolt, take the big guy. And I'm going to take my bonus action. I'm going to throw 3 daggers out.
Okay.
Basically, 1 over here by Bolt. And then 2 over here by
Eve.
Okay. In a kind of a defensive maneuver. And my bonus action. I'm going to use my action to give her a potion
Okay.
of healing.
Perfect.
And
you
so I'll
regain
kinda-
10 hit points.
So I kind of throw him down and then pull the bottle.
Okay.
And that's the normal one, right?
That was a very impressive cork popping sound.
He's our Foley guy. Like he's good at that.
You're the guy from the police academy that can make all the sound effects.
Michael Winslow.
The beeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
Okay. So yeah,
That's
you're awake. You're still prone. Victor is standing over you with an empty bottle.
You're not done yet. Get on your feet.
Is this vodka?
There might be a little in there. I'm sorry.
You just poured
Now
it
you
on
have
the
to make a
wound.
Constitution saving check.
Oh crap! I forgot.
And
She's
then
a
Idor
lightweight.
is going to go, and she's going to hide behind that rock.
Behind here.
Yep. That's what she means by feet. She's good at running. Not that she's good at
I
kicking.
thought she was going to kick stuff.
She's
I thought she was
her-
like a hobbit. and they
She's her
were-
dash.
A monk. She's a monk, right?
Is that with her dash? Or did she
If it's not enough to get there, then
No,
yes.
I mean she was right here.
Because it's 25 for halfling, right?
Yeah, she's behind that. That's not wrong. That's the edge
into
of
the
that.
battlefield.
Okay.
Okay,
She's
the orc.
not.
That's where you loop
The orc
back
is
around
dead.
to this side like a video
So
game.
Eve, it is your turn.
Get asteroids.
I will stand up. Will you stand me up?
Still feeling a little weak, and he goes, "Oh, back for more, eh?"
And that, if I wasn't clear, that's all was my defensive flurry or stuff. So.
Okay.
I stand by what I said. You stink.
All right.
And that is my turn.
You still have an action.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can. It's just
That's
movement
your,
to get up.
that's your, yeah.
And by what I meant by that was eat my sword.
Perfect.
I will attack with my longsword. That's 15 to hit.
You have advantage because he attacked recklessly.
Worse.
Okay, so you said 15 was your
Yep.
highest? That hits.
Oh, sweet.
Because
Good
he's
damage.
large.
He's large and in charge.
For 8 damage.
8 damage? Okay. Oh, it's like a little knife.
I hate you. And
We give her a sword and she turns it into a knife.
There's like one person.
I know, one person's like,
13th
"Yes,
warrior
13th
fan
warrior."
that's like, yeah, that's so great. Antonio Banderas. No, you don't like that? Okay.
Oh, look, his dog can jump.
actually, I will also. Do I have to use my Channel Divinity as an action?
It'll say on there.
As an action.
Okay. Sometimes it will
Spoiler
be a
alert.
bonus
I'm gonna
action.
use it next time.
Bolt.
I said it.
I'm going to Thunder Gauntlets. Try to punch him right in the face.
Okay, you have advantage on this attack.
Sweet. Crit.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
Your prediction came true. I was going to roll a natural 20. At one point.
Well done. It's the mantra.
So it's 1d8 plus 3, so that's 8 already.
Daily
plus
D&D
3.
affirmations.
Have to do it with the power
Okay.
spells.
Yeah.
Wow, max damage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful bitch.
So that's 19 damage.
19. Okay.
And then he has disadvantage on attacking anyone other than me.
Turn him into a hamburger.
Until the start of my next turn.
Okay, yeah, so you rear back with your gauntlet, and you bring it forward and slam into him, and you can see that kind of like ripple effect, and he just stumbles a little bit. What the heck? Then...
Hasn't anyone ever taught you not to pick on a lady?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I killed them! Bandit number 2...
Well, that's even worse. I don't know how you're not seeing this.
Bandit number 2 is also restrained.
Nice.
Good job.
And he's just going to try... They're just going to keep trying to fire at good old Ezra there. 11.
Miss.
Another crossbow bolt goes by. Super slow. Yeah, like it...
You
It
like
fires. It
Neo from
fires
the
at the normal
Matrix with
speed, and
that?
it hits that edge and slows down for just a moment, and you can easily like sidestep it.
Move and then it when it
Yep.
comes out.
Bullet time.
Like, all right, move out
It's
of the
like
way.
the sorceress from Diablo 3 or whatever, and like a fireball's going through.
Mm-hmm.
Flies through.
Nice.
So the trickster is like, "Don't worry, I've got something for this," and he runs up. He's gonna run back up, just on the other side of Victor's dagger. Yeah, put that there.
And I activate my trap card. No, just kidding.
Yeah, one over.
White dragon, blue eyes.
And he is going to cast
For nondescript purposes.
Burning Hands. So everybody within a 15-foot cone. So it should hit. Yep.
Oh no.
Burning Hands.
He wants to angle it so it doesn't hit the Minotaur. So if he needs to move up, because technically the space that the dagger is in is not occupying that space.
So he would have to go in there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
In order to hit us 3.
Yep.
Question: my blade. That's only for an attack roll, right?
I believe.
That's
Yeah, I
not for
believe
area
it
effect?
provides a like an AC bonus, if I'm not mistaken.
It's specific to the attack roll.
Okay. So everybody in that, which is Eve, Bolt, and Victor, needs to make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Use your inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm
use
using
inspiration.
it because
Ooh, that's another crit.
Nice.
Oh, 21.
Nice.
That'll want better.
Dice are in your favor.
no
Is that Dex save?
Yep.
16.
9.
9, 16, and crit. So Eve is the only one who's going to take full damage from this. You other two take half damage. So Victor will take half damage. 8 fire damage, and then 4 for the halving.
Nice.
I believe that puts you at 2. Am I correct?
I'm kind of putting my hand on,
Am I remembering correctly?
No metagaming. DM.
putting my hand on the back of Bolton, like
Okay.
letting him take the brunt of it.
Who
Yeah,
put
put my
this
shield up.
pizza on me?
And then he goes.
It's like a slice of
This is
pizza.
definitely not where I want to be, though. Then it is Ezra's turn.
Okay. I want to hit the trickster, but the guys that are
stuck just look too good. So I'm gonna firebolt them. One of them.
2 sets of
One on that
boots.
side.
That's all that's left.
The left.
Yeah. So that is a 24 to hit.
Nice.
D10 for 6 damage.
6 damage.
And
Okay.
cantrips.
Think about it.
They do.
Yep. So it smashes against him, and he has to like quickly put it out. But he is looking pretty hurt. Seredan.
I say, I also have something for this. And move right just so that he's right there. Like wherever I need to be. You know what I mean? I can attack.
That'd be
from
creepy.
So it's,
like you're like, oh.
So
crap.
how far out from you is it?
It's-
That's the full range of
It's
it. Right
15 feet from me. Yeah.
50 foot radius. So 3 squares.
There? Technically,
From you
would
or
have
from-
to put somebody else in it.
Well, so from here it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I guess that would be bolt. So I mean,
Yeah.
what if I
it's probably a
moved,
little off.
like
Yeah, the ring for some reason isn't right
it's
on.
not quite.
And it's on your glaive, isn't it? So if you're,
Well, yeah, but so okay, so 1, 2,
Interesting
3.
DMs
It would
episode.
still be.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to
Maybe
get
1,
Bolt
2,
in there if
3.
you want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually planning on moving back afterwards
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so
yeah,
I'll just come
So you
right
just like
here.
run up and the
Yeah.
dark cloud kind of envelops
So
you.
I'm
yeah,
gonna make-
it engulfs everybody, and you hear.
the guy
it.
has like, whoa, what?
So I'll make 2 attacks at the trick. Well, I'm gonna make an attack at the trickster.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna miss. A 1 and a 2.
Yay,
so,
darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Inspiration.
So yeah. Oh yeah.
Elven accuracy.
Sorry.
Elven accuracy.
You better
No,
get
I don't
that
have
one.
it yet.
He's got
I
to
don't
get
have
level
it yet.
4. We're 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my inspiration. That's better. So that's a 23 to hit.
23 will hit. Roll
And
damage.
it will be sorry, where did my oh, this is not working. Well anyway.
He gets
4. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's 5 damage.
Okay.
And then
Good
with
luck.
my butt action,
Not so much. So they have all the bad luck and we have all the good
it's
luck.
a 16 to hit.
I'm Wizard Man.
That'll hit.
Okay. For 7 damage.
And then what do you do after that? Are
Um,
you gonna move away? Is that
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna just step
Okay.
back 1 space here.
So you guys get engulfed in darkness, and as it backs away again, the wizard is no longer there.
Dude.
So you surround him in this darkness, and you hear or you see him panic because
Yeah.
I think you have double sight,
I
right?
do,
You
yeah.
can- yeah.
I'd
Obviously.
see him.
Yeah.
And you just hear this kind of like deep chuckle in your head about like, and you can almost hear. You almost want to be like, "Don't be afraid of the dark." You
Yeah.
know, you almost want to say something very sinister
Yeah.
in response to this. And you just like thrust forward with your glaive, and you can see him like panically throw up a shield, and it breaks right through it, and you rip into him, and then you just kind of like smash him in the head, and the darkness just like picks him up, and he disappears.
Your patron is hungry.
That's cool.
I don't know if it's
Okay.
scary.
The bodies.
Like are we the bad guys?
He's gonna hit that guy again because he's stuck in there. Time magic.
So when they're restrained, you get advantage, or is it
16.
because of your web?
16 to hit. Sorry.
when they're restrained, you get advantage. Or is that
Oh
only
no,
on
no,
me?
sorry, you already
Yeah,
went.
if they're
My
restrained.
apologies, Seredan. I was looking at the wrong
Oh,
thing.
that's fine. Yeah.
Victor?
Victor's turn.
No, it is the Minotaur's.
Minotaurs.
Yep. And then the Minotaur is going to. He is not going to attack recklessly this time. He's just going to attack Bolt.
So the blade that's next to Bolt, for the blade of defense,
Okay.
will, as he's kind of like swinging, I assume that it's when it hits, right?
Yeah, if it would hit, I think.
It's
you could-
okay. So if it hits, then that will take effect.
So that is a. An 18 to hit.
That's below my AC.
That's below your
One
AC.
below.
Okay. So he swings down at you, and you bring your shield up and catch the axe.
Blade goes, huh?
Catch it in my
It's really
gauntlet
cool.
fist.
I can catch it in the fist. Who are you people? Bandit number 1 is going to try and... He's going to try and shoot at Ezra. Like, the only way out of this is to kill the wizard.
Tips for life.
Yep.
The only way out of this, kill the wizard.
That is a 12 to hit. They cannot kill the wizard. That one hits your mage armor. That one just kind of deflects off of your mage armor. Okay, then we're at Victor.
Alright, I'm going to use my movement. So we'll go over here. So 5, 10, 15, 20.
Watch out for the web.
To move around. And I will ask the Minotaur, may I cut in? I'm going to use my bonus action again to throw
Nice to meet
Such
you.
a bard.
throw my 2 more
Okay.
out on the other side of him.
All right.
And I'm going to use my action to attack him.
Okay.
Hopefully you don't have any more to throw out because other ones didn't print.
I do, but it's okay. It's okay. So that is a 20 to hit.
A 20 will hit.
And that's with sneak attack damage.
You can only be bonded to 6, or 5 or 6 right now.
Yeah, I printed 8. 3 failed.
That's 11 slashing damage.
11 slashing. Okay.
That's included, yeah, with the bonus, with the stuff, and it'll basically just be like I'll slide behind him and slash behind me towards his back of his knees.
Training for part of the 8 rings is knife pun management, right?
Yes.
It's a core class.
Knife to meet you.
Knife to meet you.
Have a knife day.
Now I need to have forks and spoons from. Have you guys seen Mystery Men?
It is your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knife to meet you.
Yeah.
What the fork are you doing here?
Okay. Eve doesn't feel super good. But you look like you're going to die soon. What
Sorry.
was that?
No, that's nothing. No, that is literally. There's not any indication of anything. It's just funny to be like, I'm screwed up, but you look like you're gonna die soon.
It'll be the you should see the other guy moments.
Yep.
Classic anime taunt.
Yeah.
You look
My
dead.
insides are literally spilling out. You look like you're gonna die soon. Yeah, I think I need to do cure wounds on myself.
On myself.
It's gonna roll this.
Wow, I healed for 20 with a cure wounds. Yeah, first level.
Okay.
Make a healing attack against yourself.
Oh, I tripped myself.
Okay, it's 8 plus 3.
Okay. Yeah. So, Eve, you kind of take a moment to breathe, and you can feel that healing energy from the trio. Kind of close your wounds, suture them a little bit.
Yes. I don't think I have internal bleeding any longer. Okay, that's my turn.
Outside. Watch out for
Oh.
sepsis.
It's better on the inside for sure.
Pull back and try to hit him again. The Thunder Gauntlet. Oh, I don't have advantage, right?
Nope.
20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
8 damage, and then the debuff basically.
Okay.
Is this what I just rolled?
Mm-hmm. It's a d10.
Okay. I
She
rolled the
wrong
wrong
dice.
dice.
What'd you get on it total?
8
Yeah, 8
plus.
plus 3.
Whatever.
We'll subtract 2.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Call it even. Yep.
Okay.
It's a wash.
I'll go ahead and just take an epic dice for that. How about that?
How could you?
Hey, I was honest.
That's true. You were very honest. So you can have one too.
Perfect.
All right. Moving on. After Bolt, who again you catch this thing and then you just like slam into him with your other hand. And then
Is it like a boxing punch when you're just like really quick?
You know what? Bandit 2 is like, screw this, and he's going to try and make his save against your restraint. And he does make his save.
That one?
No, the one on the left is no longer restrained, and he's going to move out of the web.
The
Which way?
difficult terrain.
The web was a difficult term.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yep.
have-
All he can do is just get just outside of it, and then that's where he's going to end his turn.
Okay.
And that is the proper way. Ezra, it's your turn.
Okay, so The webs are flammable. Any 5-foot cube of webs exposed to fire burns away in 1 round, dealing 2d4 fire damage.
Grease.
So I'm going to cast Firebolt on the web
Okay.
and try and burn the other guy for
All right.
2d4 on when the round's over, I guess. Takes a round to burn.
Well, he's gonna go ahead and just take the fire damage. You said it was 2d4.
Yeah.
wanna
Would
roll
you
it?
say you
Yep.
have time to burn?
No, I'm not a bard. Oh, 2 ones! He takes 2 damage.
Okay.
It was a good try, though.
Yeah. He screams as he catches fire. It's
Insert Eve scream here.
It's the new Wilhelm scream.
He is definitely
Yes.
he's gonna be restrained for this next turn only as the fire burns away because
Right.
it does burn for a round.
That is it.
Yeah.
Instead of fire, since it's time, is it
Like a
that
decay.
particular area speeds up and it like
It speeds so fast that it gets hot.
Yeah, it's like friction.
It's
Like the air molecules are
it's
moving so fast that it's friction.
It's like in a little tiny 5-foot microwave.
nice
Actually, that's a pretty big microwave.
little tiny 5
A little
foot
cube.
cube.
Tiny industrial oven.
You know, just one of those.
I don't know, it's magic.
Salamander.
Seredan, is your turn.
Oh, before that, I want to move
Yeah.
and, if I can, like try and crouch down and maybe
Okay,
get
sure.
some sort of
Yeah,
coverage.
you'll get like half cover.
Okay.
So that's
Take my full movement and then
Remember.
he would be in darkness.
you
But
could go over here.
If it's
Actually-
Victor, yeah, that's not.
yeah, that's okay. So I actually go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I say, Vicky, I told you to stay close to me.
welcome to the party. Who do we kill now?
So this would be like the Minotaur, Victor, and this guy would be in the
Okay.
darkness, right?
Yep. You can remove that if
Yeah.
you want. We'll figure it out.
Um,
It's a little too small.
It's always
It's not actually.
Oh, it's just the ring.
It's
the ring
exactly-
itself is the third.
Yeah. The problem is it's not based off of one
The-
square. It's,
yeah, the reality is circles in D&D are squares. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because they go.
A circle's
It's close enough.
Circle is a square. Anyway,
Gets
and I'm
my
gonna make
cross
attacks at this guy.
Okay.
Because I don't want him to get to Ezra. And they seem to have the Minotaur well in hand. That is a 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
You would think that I would. For 9 damage.
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
Again, you slice him right across the neck, cutting his scream short, but the scream seems to echo, kind of reverberate around him as he just kind of like sinks into the darkness and disappears.
Gosh.
And then I'll just turn around and just try to hit the Minotaur then with
Okay.
the butt.
It's a good thing Ezra can't see this.
That's
seeing
a
Totally judge you.
22 to hit.
22 will hit.
Nice.
For
Where do, from
7
outside, all we see
damage.
is this
7 damage. Okay.
dome of black doing
Just
this,
running around.
and
It's
as it
just
goes
and as it
across
goes,
things,
it's like
they just
vacuuming
disappear.
them up.
It's like
You're a giant Roomba.
You just hear people screaming. People screaming from
It's like
inside.
black holes, right?
It's like Christine, but it's a room.
the only witness is Seredan and
That's
Victor.
the
Yeah.
new, new Love, Death, and Robots. I guess has an episode where it's
Victor's not gonna
an
judge
angry
them.
Roomba.
An angry vacuum.
Yeah.
These are honorable.
So yeah, 7 damage.
Okay, yeah. Okay, he's still
Spot
up.
action.
That was the
yeah.
bad.
So the Minotaur is up next, and he can't, like, things aren't looking good for him.
He's in the darkness too.
He's in the darkness. He can't really see anything. So he's going to kind of rage, and he's going to recklessly attack so that it's normal, it's not disadvantage. And it's just going to, it's on Bolt.
He doesn't have disadvantage for.
Well, okay, so
'Cause can he
here's the
see
thing.
out?
Disadvantage.
It doesn't do double disadvantage, and then advantage only cancels one.
Yeah.
So he can attack anybody he wants by taking the reckless action to give himself.
Can you see
advantage.
out of the darkness? I don't think you can.
No, but that would just mean he gets disadvantage on anybody.
Yeah.
So
So
no, it's
his-
just normal.
So, but because
But reckless gives him advantage.
because he
Got
gets
it.
advantage, he is going to attack Victor instead. Because he didn't like that knife pun.
Okay.
He's not a knife pun fan. That is a
We're all doing
17
You're
to
doing
hit.
cutting words literally. You're doing it as a bard or bard style. He does not like bards.
17.
Yep, definitely hits.
He just wants more
I
axe
will
jokes.
use my
And I can
defensive-
intercept too.
Oh, you want to use one of those?
Yes.
a And I'm going to reduce the damage, I guess, by 4. Yeah.
Does the dagger reduce the damage? Is that right?
Yeah, just reduces the damage.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is he here or here?
So
Victor,
reduces-
where are you?
He's right here.
Okay, so yes, he is.
By 3. Okay. It is reduced.
Reduced by 3, and then roll your intercept as well.
This time it really is a D10.
Okay.
Oh, 2. Plus 2. 4.
So one of your daggers comes up and helps like deflect. So it is.
Yeah.
Clinge, I need you. And it'll...
And you're able to kind of make it so it doesn't sink as much. You're going to take 10 total slashing damage after all the reductions.
Wow,
It's
jeez.
a good thing you would have been.
Minotaurs are no joke.
Yeah.
They don't like jokes either.
No.
Apparently.
No.
Not at all. But then it is Victor's turn.
Alright.
Take him out.
This is the nice part. We're getting to the end of the night when everybody's doing the slow dances, the lights are down low, and I'm going to stab you now.
You have advantage.
With advantage, that's 18. 9. My action is I'm going to attack with Shadow Song.
Okay.
So that was an 18. I assume that's going to hit.
Yes.
So, and then my 1d4 plus 6. There we go. So this is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage.
Okay.
And if that's not enough,
It is not.
I want to call back these 2 blades.
Okay.
And attempt to slash him from the other side.
Okay, so they go whipping through the air, and he has to make a dexterity saving throw for each, I believe, right?
Missed! No! Return!
What
Dex save.
is the dex save that he needs to make?
He's going to be... I think it's plus modifier. DC is 8 plus my proficiency bonus plus my... I think it's wisdom, not intelligence. So that's a 2, 8, 9, 10. Proficiency bonus...
Is it 12?
I don't remember.
Should be 2.
Yeah, 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 12.
12 is dex.
So he dodges one of them, but the other one hits him.
So then it's just a d4. 2
Nice.
plus... I think it's just a d4.
I think it's just the d4.
Yeah.
It's just a 2.
So...
Yep. Okay, 2 more damage. He is still up.
Every little bit helps.
He roars as one of the daggers slashes him on its way back to your hand, and now you've recovered those 2.
Does he have... I mean, it's on attack rolls. He would have disadvantage for his reckless, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't work for save throws.
Nope. Okay.
Yep, that's it.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Zeri, you're doing very well. Keep it up.
Eve.
Thank you.
Bardic inspiration.
Wrong character.
Wait a second. Is
Dang
he
it.
in darkness?
Yeah.
He is. But, so, since he can't see you, but you can't see him, the
It just
advantage and the disadvantage would cancel out, and you just make an attack as normal.
But he attacked recklessly.
But it's
Yeah.
Oh,
canceled
that's
out.
right, because it doesn't double.
Yeah.
Yeah, double disadvantage doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything.
We literally
And I
just went over
hate
this.
to ask this, but is Victor in darkness as well?
Victor is
Yes.
in darkness, yes.
Because then I could not. It says when a creature you can see.
Oh, interception.
So you gotta
so
take
4 more
So-
damage.
4 back.
Victor.
Now
I
that
would've
means
been
he would be down and
unconscious.
he wouldn't be able to do that damage that he just did.
You can
We're always
return all that
retconning it.
damage.
Gee.
Sorry.
Give me back that epic dice.
I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in my head, and then he's just like, oh, crap.
Nope, you're good. The epic dice covered it for you.
Covered the retcon.
Yep. That covered the retcon.
Okay.
The trio gives you a momentary vision of Victor being attacked within this darkness, and you stick your shield into this kind of like cold blackness,
Nice.
and you feel
Have
like just a little like clang as something scrapes off, and you pull back. You hope it did enough, and then you hear Victor quipping afterwards, so it probably did enough.
It's like Spider-Man. Makes joke.
So grateful I have the
Jesus,
trio on my side. Okay. I'm just going to attack him with the longsword.
The longsword.
The longsword.
The longsword.
That's insane.
In that case.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
I'll get to roll the dice I'm actually supposed to roll with.
Okay.
Just want you to know I'm doing it the right way.
Nice.
10 damage.
10 damage. So I use my epic dice to reduce the damage by 6. But that still leaves 4, which is enough. How would you like to kill the Minotaur?
Yes!
woohoo!
I can't technically see him.
Nope.
But
You can smell it.
As Eve, puts this in, it goes right into his heart.
You just hear that kind of...
And blood
You hear him
comes
go,
down the blade,
"Ooh."
and then I see it coming down my hand. I pull it out. Just say, I think we got you, smelly.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
I think we have to tell that joke every episode.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta find a way to work it in.
We're 2 for 5.
Every-
2 in a row.
Well, nobody picked up my Return of the Jedi joke earlier, so...
Oh, no.
Bad.
I'll catch it on the rewatch.
Yeah, so the Minotaur is gone. Eve's arm and sword are covered in blood. The darkness does not pick up the Minotaur because you didn't kill him.
Right.
And then it is Bolt's turn. Bolt, you're pretty sure that Minotaur is dead. Judging by the horns poking just out of the darkness on the ground.
And I heard a no as he died.
Boo, disadvantage.
I think you mean moo.
No, disadvantage to you too.
I'm gonna
No,
swing
you
around
spoke it.
Eve and run up to the bandit and try to hit him.
Okay.
Thunder Gauntlets. 16?
That'll hit.
Okay, cool.
Punch a hole through his chest.
8 damage.
Yeah, you just drive uppercut right into his jaw, crack it, and he goes down.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Good
Good
job,
job,
everyone.
Your darkness fades.
Yeah, it actually like gets sort of like almost sucked back into the glaive, like. And her eyes sort of get clear again after a minute, but she sort of like takes her a second to recover almost, like she's sort of shaking.
Sorry, are you okay?
Like, well, our enemy's dead.
I
Not
Yes.
only dead, they're gone.
Are any of us dead?
not yet.
And Eve will
Then I'm great.
go to Victor and say, I'd like to return the favor. Thank you for the vodka.
No problem.
I don't have vodka, but I'll give you 5 gills.
Thank you.
I feel.
Here's the real important thing. Where did all the loot go?
I tip Craggy upside down and I'm like,
The darkness vanishes and there's just a pile of gold.
Craggy turns into a bag and deposits all of the bandit stuff onto the ground.
I was going to say your gods be damned, but never mind. They are good.
But there's not
not
really
a lot.
much. There's 2d6 copper pieces for everybody.
okay,
So you can roll it and tell me how many you got.
I'm not even gonna worry about it.
8.
2d6.
Why not? I'm gonna be 8 copper short sometime and be upset that I forgot to take
7.
it. So
And then you can also take the Minotaur's.
We have
if you
not
like.
split everything
Okay,
up
I was
because
just curious about that. I just thought of...
we have all those gems and stuff that we
Yeah.
need to
We're-
go to like a
those
broker.
hand
or-
crossbows?
I did.
Okay.
They are not.
I did just add
They are light crossbows.
Okay.
the gold.
because I put in there like
Yeah.
it was like 400 copper, 40 silver, a few gold pieces. I don't know if you scroll up
Yeah,
in the
so
chat.
technically
That's
you've
it.
got.
Okay.
I added it for myself.
Okay.
Do you guys want to pick up all of the weapons and stuff? Is that what I'm hearing too?
I mean, we might as well pawn it.
If anything looks better than just your standard random trash.
I mean, it's your standard gear, right? It's
Okay.
your adventure gear.
I'll take one of the, if it's a light crossbow, I'll take one of the light crossbows and I'm going to bring it back to Ainur.
Okay.
And be like, for the trip home, you might want to hang on to this.
Who the hell are you guys? She says as she takes the crossbow and tries to like look it over, pull the string a little bit, like okay. So there are 2 light crossbows and 30 bolts. There's only one.
Was the Minotaur wearing any?
Is your time magic freaking out again? There's 30 of me.
No, he was not wearing any armor. You did grab his great axe, though.
Okay.
There are 2 scimitars, 2 sets of leather armor. Technically, the wizard. I mean, he's a wizard. He's got a spell book on him, right? That's gotta be right.
Yeah, I'll go flip through it.
Yeah. his spellbook has Burning Hands, Disguise Self, and Shield. And then he's got cantrips as well, but you can't really... Yeah.
Burning Hands, Disguise.
You could copy those.
So
Yeah,
it's
so
eight,
like some
eight
time and
cop-
money.
8 copper per person.
No, you roll your own copper.
Oh, I thought it was.
Technically, you would split it up among you, like you'd add it together, but this is more fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just
When
heard
she-
him, we're like,
And then, of course, 20 javelins.
When she asks who we are, I'm like,
Yeah, he had 10. He had like 10 in a pack here, 10 in a pack here.
we don't have a name unless our leader has come up with one, but I just say we're contractually obligated.
Does
That sounds like a name to me.
Does the Minotaur have any kind of like medallion, patch, anything that would indicate that like maybe he's part of a bandit clan or
It's like bandit ID
guild
card.
group or
No,
anything like that?
actually, also,
his
also
membership
no.
card. Yeah.
There are no plot hooks on this Minotaur.
He didn't
I
even have
just-
a name for crying out loud.
I'm just trying to get some kind of evidence so that eventually we'll probably end up back in the Justicar's office.
let's
and
take
go,
one of his
hey,
horns.
By the way,
Let's take one of his horns, perhaps.
okay, use the
Or
great
like
axe.
any
That's mutilation, but
as
okay.
as
Don't
a
show
It's a little
the guy
gruesome,
the
but he is
whistling-
already dead.
so as a rogue, can I tell if they have any like ciphers on like just like they were saying like an emblem that might be like a thieves guild or something that might be
Yeah, you don't really find anything specific that says they were part of any
non-organized
spec-
crime.
Yeah.
Just
They're just kind of like
they're
a random bandit group
Okay.
that somehow knew you guys were going to be here.
Right.
Expendables.
Well, how do we get the attention of Kiss Kiss?
As you say
cast
that, the airship
message.
starts like, oh, do you have
Yeah.
message?
that's message. I'm just like, what the hell are you?
Oh, sorry, there were some unsavory people. I needed to go up. Yes. Coming down.
All right.
And then you guys see the...
Get out of the way!
Ainor is still hiding behind that rock, but it gets close to the ground and levels off and kind of like dips a little bit too much on one side, and it kind of stops, and then the ladder... Actually, the ladder rolls out of the side that's
Wrong
higher. So it's good still. You can still get up. It's just
Right.
hilarious.
Bolt goes last. Yes.
Yeah, I'll go last. Yeah.
I'd rather take my chances in the sanctum again, I think.
Here we go, and I put her back in the baby thing and start climbing.
What do you think you're doing?
Make a grapple check.
Unfortunately for you and us, we must return you safely.
All right, whatever.
There's still time left to judge the brew bash.
It is like getting closer to the evening, but they definitely wouldn't have announced the winner yet. So if you get back in time,
All right.
it should only take you like an hour to get back.
Yes.
You get up to the top of the greatest treasure. Everybody makes it up just fine. The rope ladder doesn't break for Bolt and Ainor. And you see that on the main deck, Ainor's wagon is completely put together, completely repaired, just sitting there. And Kes says, "You good?"
Yes.
I give him the 8
so
copper
good.
that I got off of the bandits.
Well done, Kiss.
Elf Dwarf is most generous. Yes. And he puts it in this little like he's definitely got like a one of those like change
Yeah.
pouches. That,
Yes.
yeah.
Why can't he do that to his ship? Why is it? I don't understand.
Ship is perfect.
I didn't know he could hear me.
Kes, you
Yes.
said you had to leave when some unsavory characters came by. Do you, by chance, have any way to defend yourself? Do you have any weapons, or
I mean, I've got this, and he runs over to one of the things, and he pulls up these 2 like panels, and he pulls out like the shoddiest ballista you've ever seen, like small ballista, and he says, "But it's not reliable."
I know if I may, for the light crossbow.
Sure.
Here, you can have another little mini ballista you can add to the.
And he immediately
That's exactly
attaches
what I
it
was
to
thinking.
one corner.
yeah?
Yep.
I was thinking about giving
Just
him
gonna
one
strap it to the-
crossbow and the bolts.
Because like at his size, that's like a full-on ballista.
Yeah, he definitely just like takes it and full on hammers it into one end of the ballista. Like, perfect. And then he closes it, and it won't quite close, but he just leaves it. It'll be fine. No one walk here.
Well, can you take us back to Six Hills?
Yes. And
Excellent. Let's go.
Now?
Yes.
Oh, yes. And he runs over to the helm and starts up the engine again, and off you guys go. There are no issues this time. It doesn't take long to.
I don't have to stand on
arrive
the
back.
spring the whole
No,
Can
time.
we short rest on the deck?
Yeah, sure. If you'd like to.
I would.
I don't have any more hit dice, but
All my short rest stuff is
doesn't change
gone.
anything for me. Yeah.
And you can see the festival is kind of still in full swing. There are people cheering, chanting, dancing, singing, drinking.
They recovered from
More
the,
drinking.
from the mud beast. The mud.
Yep.
The
I
mud.
can't believe it's only been a few
Thanks.
hours. It feels like 3 weeks have gone by.
You have a point.
Time. You'll get used to the time magic stuff.
Very different.
How loud did you say that?
And that was more of a meta thing, but
Roll me a wisdom check.
We
for me,
haven't
would
landed
you?
yet. We haven't landed yet.
No, but there's Einor and
that's
Keskas.
10.
Dang it.
Okay.
You haven't.
Einor, it doesn't look like Einor heard you, and Keskas is at the engine. Or not the engine, he's at the helm, so.
We're just too happy from,
Yeah.
living our best lives.
So you guys get back to Six Hills. You see Keskas. As soon as you guys get in range, he kind of gets this weird look on his face. It looks like he's receiving another message from somebody in the tower, and he just sends back a reply and docks at the same port that he left at. And Einor is the first one off. As soon as he's got the rope around, she steps off, and you can just see she's green in the face. She did not enjoy that rickety trip. And he goes, "I put wagon on ground, okay? Yes." And you can see he opens up another panel, and he starts hauling on this hand crate, and this crane starts coming up out of one of the panels. You're pretty sure that crane cannot fit in that little square that he's pulling it out from, but he is.
Let's get off the ship before.
I'm nervous.
I love this ship.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's been a pleasure.
thank you. You've been interesting people. I like.
Thank you. All right, let's get off of this.
Hopefully we see you again sometime.
Yes, ask for Kes anytime you need him.
We'll give you a 5-star review.
Can you
Out of
I'm
town.
put his number in your ring?
I don't know if he knows how to enter it.
Does this mean anything to you?
Let me see. Ooh, fancy message ring. And he takes out what looks to be just this kind of it looks like a ring, but it's made of wood. And he taps it, and another sigil appears. And he goes, "There you are."
Thank you, Cassie.
We got an Uber driver.
Like a rotary ring. You're like,
Now, keep in mind, Kes, very popular man. Very busy.
I
we believe
believe it. Yes.
But thank you. And he puts the ring on one of his clawed fingers. And actually, no, he puts it on his tail. He puts it on the tip of his tail.
Very
We must protect Kes at all costs. He must live to
Have
The
fun at
pri-
the
the-
festival.
The priority goes Snuggle Beasts, Kes, everyone else.
Then ourselves.
ourselves.
Okay. So you guys descend the tower steps. As you kind of do, you hear the creaking of the greatest treasure pull away from the dock and head off into unknown distances until plot requires him again.
Have your number. I'd like to pull everyone kind of aside in an alleyway or something.
Okay. So when you actually get to the bottom, there are people waiting for you. Yep. So the Mayor Balin, Balin Heck, is
Mr.
there.
Heck.
Mr. Heck. The Arcanum Justicar, Whitehall, is standing there. And surprisingly, Instructor Crier and Holly are also standing there. And Holly sees all of you kind of exit, and she runs up and she goes, "I am so glad that you are all okay. Is everything fine?
As
Does
are we."
anybody need any healing?"
Yes.
I'm fine, and I'm blood coming out my nose.
So she will go
Broken
ahead
arm.
and she'll do a Cure Wounds just at the first level. 1d8 plus 2. Which one's the d8 again?
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
So 8 healing to Victor, and then you said you needed this.
I'm
healing
okay. I'd rather.
Thank you.
So she kind of does this complex motion, and then she just seems to push out a little bit of energy from her own body and into yours. And Crier comes up and he goes, "I owe you all the deepest apologies of Miller Bryce College. Apparently one of my students decided to I guess the best word would be snitch on your location and what you were doing.
Ah.
So on
Brander?
behalf... Yes.
Will punch face himself.
So on behalf of the entire Millibrex College, you have our sincerest apologies for that misunderstanding, and as soon as we find Brander, we will bring him to justice.
He's run off, or he's just in the festival?
He's run off.
Huh.
Do you need someone to play the Weeping Swordsman?
He
I'm
did a
afraid-
very good job earlier.
I'm afraid that production is not... I'm sorry. That production
Long
is not
story.
currently in run, but we'll consider you for next time.
Sorry,
Yeah.
player question. I'm not sure what he's alluding to as far as that he snitched on our
The
location.
Minotaur.
The Minotaur
guessing
and
the
the-
bandit.
Yeah, he let the bandits know. Because at the end of our
I'm a
fight,
little
he was
slow on the uptake.
he was a little ticked off that we
right.
And you did hear the Minotaur say that the boy was right after all when he first came.
I missed that part. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yep.
You'll catch it on the rewatch.
Yeah.
It'll sound really great.
Bolt's gonna walk up to Justicar Whitehall.
Yeah.
Justicar. On that note, there is something we do have to inform you. A group of bandits did attack us, and we did take them out.
So they are incapacitated.
Show her the horn. The Minotaur horn.
I didn't grab the horn.
Or I did. I sawed it off with
Oh, yes,
my...
I will.
I turned Sarah into a saw and just...
Craggy.
Craggy on myself.
You're like gnawing on it.
What are
Things are getting really
Not
weird.
exactly. We're gonna need more. of
Time
that
magic
paperwork.
messes with you.
Wonderful. All right. Well,
Oh, and also, inside of Bleakwood, Hollowbend Forest, we came across this, and I pull out the tumor jar and I wiggle it a little bit.
and she takes it. She's like, "That's a very serious thing. Is this all there was?"
After we burn the rest of it,
It's
yes.
about 80 feet wide. Vomitous mass, I believe.
Yes. Well, thank you for your service there, and I see that you've returned Einor, and Balin Heck has already taken her to go get judging.
And
Um,
with the first of the bad news, you have the good news. You have way to make the mud people go away.
The good news is we found the source of the attacks. It was an unhappy... Well, it's complicated.
I'm guessing this had something to do with it, and she shakes the jar of
Yes.
flesh. that she
Yes.
has.
We believe the attacks will stop or will be stopping soon. The attacks will stop or will be stopping soon.
In theory, this core is from a bit of mud that we found.
Really?
And
So the Ember Core is what you're specifically referring to.
Well-
Is that right? Oh, okay. So you did... Okay, sorry. Yeah, that was an Eve
They
kicks
gave
you.
me a...
Eve.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm just like, here's
You didn't
some
see me, I was
mud.
going.
Okay, well, Grant says, well, it sounds like the mission was a success then.
It was, and of course we rescued Einor.
Yes, I can see that.
We did
so-
all the side quests and the main quest.
Now there's a matter of payment, I
Yes,
believe.
if you'd like to come back to the Arcanum, we would definitely be able to finish up payment there. I didn't bring it with me. I assumed that would be something that
You
we could
assumed
finish
we
up.
would fail?
I assumed that there would be more paperwork to deal with.
I'm just teasing you, Justicar.
And she just starts walking off.
Shall we follow her?
I think that went well.
Let's do it.
Is there something you seemed like you had something you wanted to say?
What else did I want to say?
You were trying to pull us aside.
Well, it was,
Before-
it was to get our story straight.
Before Miss whatever
It was
pants.
to get our story
sorry.
straight.
Oh.
And to
Yeah,
say
you
what we
can't
were.
be-
We're not going to bring us, such as the core.
Come over here.
You almost blew the cover. Way to go.
I forgot that we don't trust them.
That wait. So there's the core, and then there's the elemental.
Yeah, so there's the
Well,
there's the
there
core,
is
and then
the
there's the
shard.
shard. that you
Right.
had that little
Yes.
We
shard.
give them the core.
We gave them
Yes,
neither.
we gave them.
You gave them the
skin.
sample. You
The
give them
skin
which was
sample.
the third thing that we grabbed from there.
Right.
The shard we're keeping.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
for ourselves. Nobody knows.
What was the shard again?
That's
What,
the
when
It's a
inside
glowy
his
light
chest?
thing.
Oh,
Glowing
And
light
then
witches.
that wasn't the core.
The
The
Ember
core was
core-
when
It was the
inside
mud
of the. Okay.
element.
Ember core was
gotcha,
the
whatever.
Guardian's
Yeah.
core.
It
That
was
we're
the
supposed to
fire,
bring
it was
back
the
to
fire
life.
elemental.
For some reason, I thought those were the same thing. So okay. Good.
Okay,
to
we're
know.
all on
Glad
the
I'm
same
not the
page.
only one slow on the uptick.
Yeah.
This episode.
No.
We're playing on the wrong night. It's messing with
But
me.
we did not give her the core.
Ember core. No, okay.
I alluded to it.
Okay.
And then
And then you were kicked.
So you go back. You go back to
I thought
the
you were
Arcanum headquarters. She pays you the 30 gold each, plus 50 gold bonus for Einor, and that's to the party. So 10 gold each.
40 gold.
If you split it up.
Yeah.
And she has you all sign writs of completion. She has you sign other paperwork for, all the bandits that you killed and everything, and sign statements and everything like that. But it's not.
I use my ring for all of them.
you said 40. Sorry.
40 gold total, yes. Yep. And about 20 minutes into signing paperwork, the doors burst open, and Balin Heck rushes in. He goes, "There you two are! Come on! We need to have your results for the brew bash. We need to
Sorry,
announce the winner."
so much red tape around this place.
Yes, I'm sure this can be handled later, right, Justicar? And she's like, "Actually, we really should do it." He's like, "Wonderful," and he leads you out. and he says, "Do you need your entourage with you? Entourage, come on, let's go, everyone."
It's not very
You,
polite to call them entourage.
You owe us for getting you out of all that paperwork. I say after we get out of earshot.
The Justicar can be a little heavy-handed when it comes to doing things in the proper way, and it's easier just to, let you enjoy the festival for the rest of the evening after that nasty business that we had to have you go through.
I agree.
I'm afraid I might need to bow out for a little bit.
I
And
actually,
I want to go look for.
Oh, he's got someone to meet.
I actually have an errand to run as well. I will go ahead and
Yinny.
find someone to exchange the gems for that we got from the treasure hoard,
Ezra,
along with the weapons. That I've got.
Are you leaving us as well?
That might be better served tomorrow, because
I'm not
it is
gonna-
festival night.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. So
Okay,
if there's
I
something
gotcha.
personal that you need to do, feel free. But just so you know, you're probably not going to find a ledgerman working this late on festival night.
Fair enough.
all right.
Okay. So he guides you away. So before we get to the bulk of the party, then, Victor, go ahead and roll me just a investigation check or a perception check to see if you can find Yinny.
Was she kidnapped?
That's a 12 total.
So you don't find her; she finds you.
Okay.
As you're kind of walking through the crowd, you're looking around a little bit, and she comes walking up. She's no longer in the like knife dancer outfit that she was wearing at the beginning of the day. It looks like she's off duty now.
What does a knife dancer outfit look like?
Whatever they want it to be, hers was very much like a multicolored, red, blue, green, kind of like a rainbow-colored silk affair that she had on.
Silk affair.
Yeah.
Silk affair
love
to
it.
remember.
Ribbons.
Yinny in the
hair.
Technicolor dagger coat.
Dagger coat, yeah. And she had, of course, her blades in her hair and everything. And now it's just kind of like cascading, hey, the Star Wars reference. Return of the Jedi Leia after the Ewoks braid her hair somehow.
She sounds.
Does she still weave it in her hair and she has hero wind?
Beautiful.
A little bit. Like there's a little bit of heroin.
you can get me through.
And she says, "Hey, Victor.
Hey, Yinny, it's good to see you. I'm glad I was able to make it back.
Yeah, I heard there was some nasty business with you guys. And
Yeah, Brander might be on my shit list.
I mean, he's
already
usually on
was.
everybody's, but if it's more serious than that, I'm very sorry. He was really just kind of an assignment partner, not really a friend or anything like that.
It's okay. I'm glad to hear that. I would hate to punch his face and have someone else care for him. Yes, I was. If you're not doing anything, I was hoping you could show me some things. I've learned a few things on the way. It's pretty cool. I could show you,
All right.
and I'll throw the dagger and then pull it back.
You've bonded.
I did. It was quite magnanimous, and I tried to talk about it with the others, and they all looked at me like I was stupid.
Well,
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I mean-
I could hear it. I don't know. In their voices, it was disappointment.
I mean, if you want, we can go to the end of the festival and see the closing festivities, or we can just I'd be happy to talk to you about it.
We can wait till the end. It is fine. I'm sure there's other things. The
Have you ever-
Brubash competition.
Yeah, they're going to announce the winner there, and then they'll go through just the final feast if you're hungry.
That sounds great.
Cool. And
Dinner date.
Yeah. So you guys start walking out together.
Knife
Again,
dancers make the best turkey carvers.
completely oblivious to anyone else's thoughts around you as you both start like talking shop immensely, like also like what was the final like step in the connection kind of thing. And the rest of you converge. You see Victor and Yinny huddled, like whispering to each other about who knows what.
And I'll reveal to her like during that I found a blade, and I'll show her the blade, and I'll tell her that I'm basically on like a honor. What do you call that? I'm honor bound to try and find who it belongs to.
Oh, that's right.
Holy crap! That's
The
an honor.
obsidian.
Obsidian.
Indeed, it is.
And you actually like that's rare. You know your people. You guys don't usually let your daggers out of your sight.
No,
At all.
it's not without you either being dead or worse.
Well, I mean, I guess the closest. If you want some advice, I kind of know a little bit about the people around here. In the
If
area.
there's anyone you can tell me that might have a lead on this, I'm open to it.
Well, not in Six Hills, but if you go to Salsport, I've heard that there's an old member of the Eight Rings that might have more information.
Salsport, that will be very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, cool. May I see it, or would that be taboo?
I suppose.
I can't.
He's very,
Naughty.
very,
It's a
very,
little taboo. I
very-
mean, you haven't even gone on a date yet. But.
very
I'll
reluctant.
show you.
Very reluctant, and being like,
Just know this is. I have bonded with this blade. Be careful with it.
Of course. And she takes it. She understands the reverence of what having a bonded blade means, and so she just like quickly examines it, make sure not to be disrespectful in any way. She doesn't try any fancy knife moves with it or anything.
and
like
she does.
that.
I'd pull it back immediately.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But she's very reverent with it, and then hands it back to you, and she says, "That is an impressive blade."
Blade. The Black Torrent is his name.
Oh. Well, here, and she in return she actually hands you
I'm
her
ignoring this.
long knife that you saw her sharpening, and she says, "This one. I mean, I guess I don't really have names for them. Is that something that we're supposed to do? Is name the blades?" But she hands you her main knife to kind of be like tit for tat kind of thing.
I would. Yeah, I'll
Stop
inspect it.
And by the mystery of knife dancers, you are now married.
I'll say no. It's not usual.
Exchanging of blades.
I have not named any of my blades. It's more that they speak to you. When you get to a certain familiarity, it's almost as if you're close to its essence.
That's crazy. You went from not being bonded at all to knowing more about knife dancing than I seem to. Maybe you need to teach me.
Forged in fire. I could show you a thing or two.
Okay.
Fade to black. Whoa.
That is
Straight
steamy.
to the
Fade to
ferns.
Blackthorn.
This is so hard to like keep a straight face.
I'm sorry. I'm like
It's
an adolescent boy. I think it's so funny.
Just remember, kids, whenever you want to roleplay romance, it has to be with the TM. Or one of the other players, I suppose. But
Yeah.
mostly it's me.
It's with the NPC. If you
I'm
close
sorry,
your
and
eyes.
then this can be not part of this, but then I was just reminded of is that a flute in your pocket?
That's a good story.
Oh, I'm
I'll tell
sorry.
you guys. I'll tell
Okay.
you guys the story. When
All right. So first of all, I need to hear what you guys think is the winner for the brew bash.
Oh, definitely the the
Oh, crazy wine.
Vodka.
no
The Chateau Marlene.
Chateau Marlene.
Vodka.
So he takes your recommendations and you kind of.
I'm
you
assuming
have, like,
I
a
don't know if that
scorecard.
was
No,
your
that
pick
was
as well.
definitely the best.
So you take your scorecard and you score everybody up based on like presentation and taste and like just various other factors that Cory doesn't know about alcohol.
You did a spite
How
burning
many
in the barrels.
How many cute creatures they had along with
The elemental, the churning elemental was adorable. Other
Yeah,
minotaurs.
definitely.
the cake pony was a little disturbing.
Yeah,
yes.
but where
But
can we
cool.
get one? You said we could ride them, right?
I mean, if you buy one from the people, maybe
How much do they cost?
you would have to go talk to.
Oh, okay, maybe some other ones. I'm just curious.
You make glue.
So after he takes your cards and he kind of goes through them and Ainor, you can see that Ainor is getting like a private presentation from each of the individual people because of the nature of what happened and you can see that her reactions are not quite as innocent as yours are. Like her taste is more critical. She's definitely like scrunching her nose a lot more. You can tell that she's definitely more of the food critic.
It's like the guy from Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Like very, very.
Yeah, she's very ego. And when she's done, she just fills out the scorecard silently, hands it off to Balin Heck, and he takes it and he goes through and he goes, "Well, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, quiet, please. We're all talking at the same time. It's rude." And he says, "We've got the results in for the brew batch competition, so if everyone could come up here and or all the competitors, not everybody, all of the competitors come up here, and so Hollix, Hathorn Mirth, the couple from Esther, all of the different Felband competitors, Quathin, they all march up on stage, and he says, first of all, we wanted to give an honorable mention. Ainor specifically said that the wine from Esther was very good. So everybody give our friends from Esther a round of applause, and everybody. And even though they know they didn't win, Gail and her husband look incredibly impressed that Ainor specifically recommended them for an honorable mention. And he goes, and of course, this year's winner by pretty much a landslide is Chateau Morlaine, and everybody cheers, and the what was the gentleman's name? Math names.
His name. The girl's name was like Nicholside, something Nicholside.
Yeah, Margaret Nicholside.
Yeah, his name was.
Quick, somebody pull up the recap.
Full of himself.
Douchey full of himself.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Brander 2.0.
Galen.
Yes.
Galen Hawk, yeah. So Galen and Margaret take a deep bow. The other ones politely clap. You can see that Mr. Battle Bristle is a little, he's bristling at this. Hathor and Mirth are just kind of like, as soon as they get the announcement, they kind of just nod to each other and then just leave the stage. They're not very...
Like, as usual.
Yeah, they're very stoic about it. Hollix goes over and shakes their hands, and very, very good. And he comes over and he actually shakes each of the judges' hands, and he says, "Thank you very much for judging the competition. I know it was your first time. Hopefully you enjoyed it."
Immensely.
Good.
Perhaps a bit too much.
I heard the stories from the medical tent. But yeah, you did very well. You held yourselves up very well for a first time. Judges.
This is Hollix?
Yeah, this is Hollix. Yep.
The Minotaur, right?
Awkward. I've killed one of you.
I suppose you're... Well, no.
Well, you've also killed 2 humans, but you don't really
Yeah,
care
that's
about
true.
talking to any other humans.
Yeah, they're kind of like cockroaches, though.
Yeah,
Humans?
No, that's that cockroach guy over there. Hey, what? Hey!
Thank you, Hollix. It's very kind of you to come and...
No problem.
We'd love to take a tour of the vineyard sometime.
Oh yeah, come on by. We're just up in Pelbend. We're basically the tribe of Minotaur that runs Nature Brew. You'll see a bunch of little elementals running around and everything. It'll be fun.
Oh, so cute.
So if
Happy
you take
having
one,
you.
is that considered cute?
You don't... She holds out the ring. Want to stay in touch?
I'm not quite sure what that. I'm.
Never mind.
I'm happily engaged, but thank you.
Yeah,
for the
you see
offer.
the nose ring?
Yep.
It's gold.
I didn't realize
that must be what they
meant.
call that where you're from.
Yeah.
The
Stay in
septum
touch.
is
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's.
engagement ring.
It's. You could trade it out for that if you really want. Some people like to wear it on the tail or on the finger, but or on the horn. Some people like the horn cap one. But, yeah, but yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, he got it straight from Gore, actually. So
Gore.
yeah, the big elemental underneath.
Oh, I
Gordon
see.
Vale. Yeah, he went there and he talked to him a little bit and got it, and here we are.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. If you excuse me, I gotta go set up or take down the booth and make sure the elemental doesn't get too unruly. And you can see off in the distance these little like bursts of rum start coming out from the yurt. And he goes, pardon.
You know, marrying a brewer will save you on catering costs, especially if you have an open bar.
I am definitely not catering that affair. He mutters as he walks away.
Both so economical.
Hey, so after that, Bailey gives just a quick speech, just being like, I know you're all pretty drunk right now. Thanks again for coming to the festival. Enjoy the feast. Again, my wife, Ceci, worked really hard for it, so please eat up. And everybody claps and cheers, and then immediately there's this mad scramble for like the buffet tables and to find like a good table where everybody can sit down and everything. So, yeah. So that's it. You guys spend a nice evening night, just relaxing. Victor and Yinny talk well into the evening about knife dancing. She does take you back to her place, but mostly for more like practice and meditation and whatnot. But nobody else knows to continue with the trend. And then again, you guys get to spend the evening in the inn that you guys have been staying at. So,
wonderful.
Yeah.
The Bull's Whistle.
The Bull's Whistle. Yep.
Okay.
And that is...
I'm feeling a little more guilty now staying in the Bull's Whistle than I did before we killed the Minotaur.
Well, that's fine.
Yes.
It'll be all right.
As you walk by the bartender, you're like,
No.
Yeah.
You're walking around with a Minotaur.
Again,
you're like whispering.
You also
Craggy,
killed 2
"Be
humans,
nice."
an orc.
I
You
know.
killed 3 humans. No, you killed 2.
Minotaurs just seem more rare,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Not around
It's
here.
like killing a unicorn.
here.
Come on, man.
But yeah, does
Unicorns
anybody
are
have
dicks.
anything that they want to do before bed/end here? Because we're rolling
I
down.
would like to try and unlock some more of my book.
Okay.
So if I can do an Arcana roll.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and allow it. Usually you can usually just do 1 a day, but since like it's like 1 a session is fine.
Okay.
Since you have an hour.
Cool.
Okay. I think 200 is the next
Yeah.
one, right? Okay.
That's right.
I was tentatively wanting to do like some shopping, but if nothing's open, then
Yeah, you'll
And-
have to wait till tomorrow. Everybody's
fine.
at all the Ledgermans are at the festival, so
okay.
Eve will just check the ring and see if there are any messages.
there is a message actually. It's you up from Glitterbook. No,
Letterback.
it is a message from. And again, you have more than one sigil on the ring now.
There's 2 messages. One that's you up, and the other one's from Kes that says, "I'm up."
I'm
and
up.
It's a picture, a selfie of him way up in the sky.
Holding out the ring like this. Didn't know you had that function.
No, I didn't.
Whoa! That sounded like a bad word. It was just a mistake. We were a PG-13 program here.
Yeah, that means you can say it once.
Yeah, I can mistakenly say it once. So your ring has sigils on it now, right? Because it's not just the one command word. So they are going to light up, and it's still going to become cold when you do receive a message, but you'll be able to see like your employer is that kind of cold blue. Glitterbug is kind of a pink sigil, and it looks like a pair of butterfly wings on the ring itself. And then Cass is a gear that when it just starts smoking. Literally, the ring just starts smoking as when he sent you a message. But it is cold.
Okay. So I will. Eve touches the ring and says base.
Okay. So you get a rather long message, actually.
Oh.
Normally you get like 1 or 2 word replies from him, but
Yeah.
this one says, negotiations complete. Employer would like to meet this book carrier. Please bring to Terabon at earliest convenience.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, I also want to mention that you no longer have the Blessing of the Fame because the mission that you were on is complete. So
Okay.
that has faded away.
Eve will send back a message Well, actually, Eve is going to go to Sari's room.
Okay. Is there in their room at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Sari,
Yes, Evie.
can I come in?
Of course. I was going to say something that was going to sound inappropriate about a bath, but I'll not say that. Do you want to take a bath? That's what I always do.
It is just a giant tub in there. I
Yes.
don't know, like, there's nothing else.
Thank you.
It's the Harry Potter bath. Giant one.
It's like the Wild
Sounds
West
amazing.
now. There's 2 tubs next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like chilling.
Yeah, claws.
Chat.
It does turn into whatever we want, right?
Two
absolutely.
clawfoot
I'm like
tubs.
having 2 tubs.
That's like a Viagra commercial.
You guys,
It's a nice
you have
field.
the face masks on and the cucumber
Yes.
slices.
Yes.
Oh, that
and
sounds
just
amazing.
Like spa day, spa evening.
a hot mud bath.
There's a Balin clan goblin going.
Big palm leaves.
Yeah. We don't know how we got here. We're just glad that we're actually existing again.
That's where they go missing.
Yeah.
They get absorbed into the bull's whistle. That's the accidents they keep having, right?
Mr. Meeseeks.
Mystery solved.
Yeah, the Mr. Meeseeks
Wow.
of the universe.
These are the individual mares.
Life is pain.
That is very dark. So Eve just sits beside the tub and says, Sari, I don't know what to do. Lucan, my employer, he sent me a message that said the individual who's employed us to find this book wants to meet with Ezra in Terabon.
Interesting. Have you told Luca much about me yet by chance?
No,
Well, why don't we go and pretend that I'm Ezra?
I like that idea. It may be putting you in danger.
That's all right. I'm used to danger.
Okay.
And perhaps if our new companions would like to join us, they could come maybe disguised or sort of watching from an alley or something like that, and we could try and get a little more information on who this employer is without endangering Ezra.
I
Directly?
think that's a great idea.
Excellent. Would you like a tub? I've got a second one for you.
You can take it with you.
She cannonballs.
I just put my
Okay.
I just put my cucumbers back over my eyes.
Perfect.
The bath salts.
Okay.
It's got all the...
And before she cannonballs into her own tub, she will send a message back.
Okay.
That says, I will be departing tomorrow and
Okay.
headed for Terabon.
Sounds good. Up the long road, that'll probably take you several days. Probably, well, let's say like a week and a half. Of
Maybe
travel.
we could get a ride from our new
Cake
He's
pony?
gone.
Kes.
Kes the king pony. Is that-
He's doing the cake pony run.
Yep.
It's like a Kessel run, but with cake ponies.
He's doing the Kes run.
Yes.
He was leaving when we left the tower. So.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody else want to do anything? Good to
So
go.
Bolt's just gonna sit in the room and I guess try to meditate or reflect on their thoughts. Try to see if any other memories or anything else comes up again, or even just think about the same vision they had while they were unconscious in Hall of Instinct.
Okay. So as you are kind of sitting there thinking and trying to recall these memories, you don't get any faces, but you do start hearing names in your head that you've never heard before. I'm gonna grab these names for you. Cal, Marcus, Helm, and Callie.
Okay.
Those are the 4 names that you can kind of tell which one they relate to, but again, they're still just these blobs of darkness. They don't really clear up in your mind at all.
Okay.
But you do have a little bit more to go on. After 75 years of not knowing where you came from or if there was anybody who even knows where you came from. You know
Finally, a
all
lead.
names. Yep. And throughout it all, the festival ends, and another year passes, or basically it passes in to a wonderful time that we will find out what happens next time, I suppose. Next time.
All right.
Hey,
job.
thanks everybody for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Session 6 next time we'll see. Probably it sounds like we're going to be heading to Terabon next, so that's very exciting.
As long as everyone's in agreement.
And then tomorrow, as far as the next date goes, you guys before you head out, you'll be able to sell off any gear. We'll go ahead and do that in the chat as well, just because that's boring for everybody else at home. So you guys will be able to buy and sell what you want, and we'll find out what that is in full next time. So
I need to upgrade my armor,
Okay.
but it's expensive.
good night, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Thanks,
We'll see
guys.
you again.
See ya.